100 years ago. The year was 1919. The Chicago White Sox were steamrolling through Major League Baseball on their way to the World Series, a series the Sox eventually lost in 9 games to the underdog Cincinnati Reds, thanks in part to a handful of cheats on Chicago's team that would later be labeled the Black Sox. 1919, the president was Woodrow Wilson. Prohibition goes into effect, as women in 1919 were fighting for the right to vote. World War I came to an end with the signing of the Treaty of Versailles. Babe Ruth was sold by the Boston Red Sox to the New York Yankees for $125,000. Gas was 25 cents a gallon, a loaf of bread cost 7 cents, and a 1-pound juicy steak would run you 26 cents. The great Jackie Robinson and Liberace were both born in 1919, while former President Theodore Roosevelt dies in his sleep that year. Also that year, in the Midwestern United States, in the small town of Collinsville, Illinois, the students were enjoying their 11th year in their new high school on Vandalia Street. That year, head coach John Hawkins led his Collinsville Kahok football team to the gridiron for the first time. The Kahoks, they would go 1-3 that first year in Collinsville, but Collinsville Kahok football, it was born. Now we start 100 years, and it all begins anew in 2019. Now is the time for change and hard work. Now is the time for Collinsville Kahok football. The Kahok way.
Yeah, you know what it is. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. Yeah, you know what it is. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. Yeah, you know what it is. Collinsville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. Purple and white, but you know what I mean. Double 11 senior year made history. Football, we took it to the playoffs. Collinsville, white and purple, yeah, we are the K-House. I said the K-House, the school of champions. We laugh a lot, we rap a lot. I'm asked to be an Indian again. I'm telling them that Collinsville is where it's at. So when we on the field of court, they better be aware of that. They scared of that. Of course, look at the ceiling. What up, Mr. Floyd? Yeah, it's Collinsville. And yes, I'm glad to say that I'm a K-Hawk. I'm about to graduate. Yeah, you know what it is. Collinsville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
White and purple, yeah, I know you see it. You see the chaos and you tell yourself you wanna be it. I go to CHS, so I am a champ. I ran this game so long, I'm starting to get a stomach cramp. Class of 1 and 2, but we're number 1. Shout out to all my juniors, yeah, you know we get it done. White and purple, you already know. It's still easy peasy and that boy lay low.
Yeah, you know what it is. Collinsville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
I'm by my white and purple, Scarface and DJ Screw. We on the peak of the mountain, best at what we do. Yeah, we the champs, homie, but we ain't selling shoes. These boys bleeding purple, call us the cheapest crew. They don't gotta do it big, cause I don't play no sports. I play my cards right. Now a good report. When Dub 12 comes, it's time to roll off. I'm in the back cause everybody rolling with me. K-Hawks.
Yeah, you know what it is.
All the freshmen, sophomores,
High school, champions.
yeah, they know what it is.
All around my town, everything is
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
we shut it down for the school and the sports team.
White and purple, white and purple.
And a very good evening, everyone, as we welcome you to Kahok Stadium here on the grounds of Collinsville High School as we get you set for another edition of Friday Night Lights. It is week number 8 of the high school football season as your Collinsville Kahoks play host to the Peoria Notre Dame Irish. I am Todd Duke, glad that you're with us here on this Friday evening in the middle of October on the Kahok Sports Network as we get you ready for this game between Collinsville and Peoria as we welcome you into the Chiropractic Works pregame show. Chiropractic Works in Collinsville, owned and operated by Dr. Chris McCluskey. He and his crew are focused on helping as many people as possible live high-quality lives, all through chiropractic care and wellness. You can visit Dr. McCluskey at Chiropractic Works in Collinsville, 410 Regency Center. That is their address. That is just off of the Beltline Road in Collinsville, or give them a call, 343-3602, or online, chiropracticworkscollinsville.com. Well, Collinsville comes into this looking for their first win of the year. They come in at 0-7, while the Peoria Notre Dame Irish come in at 5-2. Mike Popovich is the head coach for Collinsville. He is in his second year, now 3-13 as the head man over his 1+ years at the job. Pat Armstrong is the head coach at Peoria Notre Dame. He is also in his second year, and he is now 11-6. If you add in the 5-2 this year, Peoria Notre Dame lost their first 2 games on the year. Since then, they have not lost. They have won 5 straight games. Collinsville, of course, still looking for that first win, but they are making some progress after being outscored 150-13 in the first 4 games. They are still being outscored, but it's a little bit closer, 111-97, as Collinsville has found their offense here over the last few games. We had a chance to talk about that subject and, of course, look ahead to this game with Peoria Notre Dame with Collinsville head coach Mike Popovich. We'll pass that conversation on to you next as the Chiropractic Works pregame show continues here on the Kahok Sports Network.
As the Director of Sports Medicine at Next Level Performance Institute, I oversee the care of all of our athletes, many high school, collegiate, and professional. Our goal is to help athletes stay on the field and maximize their performance. We have state-of-the-art diagnostic equipment where we can actually perform testing to get to the root cause of problems that could be getting in the way of athletic performance. When it comes to taking care of athletes, we take a full-body approach, whether it's musculoskeletal ailments, nutritional issues, organic issues such as headaches, sinuses, digestive issues. We have advanced training to where we can remedy health issues and return that athlete to play as quickly as possible. If you or your athlete are dealing with any kind of nagging sports injury and would like to see if we can possibly help, feel free to give us a call or come by the office anytime.
And we welcome you back into the Chiropractic Works pregame show here on the Kahok Sports Network. We're at Kahok Stadium tonight, week number 8 of the high school football season, as the Peoria Notre Dame Irish come to town to take on your Collinsville Kahawks. Joining us now is Collinsville head coach Mike Popovich. Coach, let's go back in time a little bit, shall we? We want to talk about the last 3 weeks. First 4 games of the year, you guys were outscored 150-13. Still outscored over these last 3 games, but man, what a difference. You're outscored 111-97. What a big difference on the offense.
Yeah, we've done some things real well over the last 3 weeks and have gotten going and gotten downhill, which has been a huge plus. I mean, we had to make some adjustments after Taylorville, and it wasn't wholesale changes. It was just tweaking some things, different formations, and getting some different kids involved and playing them both ways. And offensively, we've done some things real well in the last few weeks, and hoping to continue that tonight.
Gabe Miller, talked about him last week, but man, what another good game on the ground for him. Last 3 games, actually, 373 yards. He's averaging 124 yards a game right now.
Yeah, and if you went and talked to him, he's super mad at himself because of the fumbles last week. And the first 2 were, you get into. I think you and I talked last week, Todd, about the fact that we didn't have any weather, even remotely bad last year. And then last week, I think going in, some of the kids thought it was going to be really cold. And Gabe was a kid who wore sleeves during the first half, and he put the ball on the ground twice right there. And he immediately came over and we got his sleeves cut off. And I think the biggest issue is somebody said to me, well, why don't you put him on a bench offensively after the first two, because he was ripping off. He was 8 yards a carry. I mean, he was gouging him, and we just needed him to cover up the football, and it's definitely been a point of emphasis this week. And but he's ran really hard, and he's definitely been our identity over the last 3 weeks. And really, if you look back to the Taylorville game in the second half, we went to him quite a bit too. So, I mean, he's running hard, and he's going to continue to do that tonight.
Give me an idea what you think of your defense so far. We mentioned the 150 points given up in the first 4 games of the year, and then tailed back a little bit, but they have their moments, their spurts, if you will.
They do. Every once in a while, they'll make some plays, and I think it's a combination of a few things, Todd. I mean, number one, we talked about this during the summer. Our football IQ has got to improve. We just have to do a better job of recognizing things. In Collinsville in general, you take a kid onto the basketball floor, and he can tell you every rule, everything that is illegal, everything that you legally can do, even if they're not on the team. I mean, they know, this community knows basketball, and that has not been the case with football. And to do that, we're trying to up their football IQ, and it'll put us in a position to make more plays. I mean, you look at kids right now. I mean, Stevie Green can play. I mean, this kid is a heck of a football player, and when he's healthy, and he's battled some injuries, but he had some big plays last week. I thought our defensive backs last week, for the exception of giving up a few slants, I mean, they did some decent things, and just a play that perfectly sums up kind of how this year has gone. And we have the big 4th down play, and we get the deflection, and it literally goes to another kid for them. And they get a 20-yard gain off of it, and it's 1st and goal, and you're just sitting here, and it was super frustrating. But they're doing some things, and this is the thing I'm excited about. There's some young pups on that defense. I mean, there's a lot of kids that are going to be back next year on that side, and I think they're just going to get. I don't think anybody can argue that our defense is not better this year than it was last year. I mean, they just are, and we expect another similar jump next year for sure.
All right, 458 yards of total offense last week, and every single yard came on the ground. You tried 2 passes, didn't work out for you. Are you going to become more of a run-first team?
Coach Ogata's been in there, and he goes, "You're literally a trap play away from being a wing T guy right now." And I started laughing at him, because I know that my all my air raid background and everything else, I'm sure those coaches are wondering what the heck's going on. I like to win. I like to put up points. And right now this has been what we have had the most success with. And I think that as a coach, you have to swallow your pride. You can't just sit here and say, we're just going to do this because this is what we do. That's great. We are doing a lot of things that we do and that we've hung our hat on even last year. We're just doing them in different formations, and we're trying to help the 14-year-old out as much as we possibly can. And I think, Todd, and you know this, you've watched enough of us. I think we took for granted some of the kids last year that we lost. The Malcolm Burns and the Ron Woods and the Giuseppe Capitellis out on the outside that knew football. You've got 2 kids right now that are taking the majority of the reps, and Jackson Lee and Travion Swagger that didn't play football last year. And so those 2 are basketball kids, and we're trying to get them to be football kids. So I think as they grow, I think Colby's going to continue to grow, and we will be. I mean, to win and to win late, you have to be able to do both. And we know that. You just don't know tonight. I mean, we've got to keep them off balance for sure. So we'll throw a little bit tonight.
That's going to be a tough task to handle, man. Peoria, Notre Dame, they come in here. They lost their first 2 games of the year. They've rattled off 5 wins in a row. They're on fire coming in here tonight.
At the beginning of the year, somebody told me that they were down. And I said, I will believe it when I see it. And they obviously dropped 2. And the second one, man, Todd, they put up a ton of points that second week, and then all of a sudden they just started putting it on teams. It starts with what they do offensively. They're a wing T team. They run buck sweep down your throat. I mean, they just flat out punch you in the mouth with it. Just buck sweep, buck sweep, buck sweep. Then they hit you with trap. Then they come back with power, and then buck sweep, buck sweep, buck sweep, and then they'll hit quarterback waggle. and your DBs fall asleep because they want to keep coming downhill and they want to help out, and all of a sudden, wing T quarterbacks will be 5 of 6 for 175 yards and 2 scores, and you're like, how are they doing that? Well, because they'll lull you to sleep, but they're super physical. Defensively, they're an odd man front, and they will cut up front. So it's going to be something that our O-line is going to have to get used to. Their 0 and their 4 techniques will cut our center and our tackles, and they're going to try and make big piles and spill everything the outside. They're ultra aggressive from a tackling standpoint. They're good. I think and I've got coaches that might not agree with me. I think they're the most complete football team we will have played. And I know Triad is very good. Like, I know that Triad is very good. And obviously Alton, put it on us. But I'm talking about as a whole, a complete football team. This team they're good. They're well coached.
You're going to have your hands full. They're a run team too, man. They've only had 185 yards through the air the entire season. Their feature back has gained 911 yards on 91 carries. Do the math. That's a first down every time this kid touches the ball.
Yeah, and that's, we've really talked, that's where that football IQ comes in, Todd, where, like last week with Mattoon, it was funny because their quarterback, different situation, like came and we expected something completely different, and then they come out, and they're making adjustments due to injuries as well for them, but you're trying to get an idea percentages-wise what you're looking at, and if you're going to sit here and you're going to see runs, 4 out of 5 times, you've got to be prepared for that. You've got to be prepared to play downhill, and that's why they can hurt you throwing the ball. But like I said, I mean, and you'll see it. I mean, they're ultra aggressive, and it's a thing of beauty, and that's why they went in the postseason. And they have an identity, and they stick with it. And I think they're explosive. I do. I think there's going to be some points put up on both sides tonight.
Thanks for the visit, Coach. Good luck.
Hey, thank you. Have a good one.
That is Mike Popovich, your Collinsville Kahok head coach. We'll take a break here on the Chiropractic Works pregame show. When we come back, we'll set some starters for you, more names and more numbers, all that and more coming up on the Kahok Sports Network.
As the Director of Sports Medicine at Next Level Performance Institute, I oversee the care of all of our athletes, many high school, collegiate, and professional. Our goal is to help athletes stay on the field and maximize their performance. We have state-of-the-art diagnostic equipment where we can actually perform testing to get to the root cause of problems that could be getting in the way of athletic performance. When it comes to taking care of athletes, we take a full-body approach. Whether it's musculoskeletal ailments, nutritional issues, organic issues such as headaches, sinuses, digestive issues, we have advanced training to where we can remedy health issues and return that athlete to play as quickly as possible. If you or your athlete are dealing with any kind of nagging sports injury and would like to see if we can possibly help, feel free to give us a call or come by the office anytime.
Hi, Purple and White fans. This is Dan Mode, class of 1989. I'm with New American Funding. Myself and New American Funding are proud sponsors of Kahok Athletics. As we have great coaches at CHS on all the courts, fields, and tracks, we like to coach you through the home buying process and refinance process. If there's ever anything we can do, I can be reached at 618-973-5343 or www.danmodeloans.com. Let's support our student athletes at CHS. They deserve the best. Thank you for your time, and go Kahawks.
Cafe Agape serves up some of the best sandwiches, burgers, pork steaks, meatloaf, and more in Collinsville. And yes, they do catering, wedding receptions, luncheons, business meetings, and more. And Cafe Agape is your destination for all of your holiday and party favorites, both main courses and delicious sides. Cafe Agape, check them out at 703 St. Louis Road, or check out the lunch buffet at the Columbus Plaza location on 157 in Collinsville. Call Cafe Agape at 345-CAFE, 345-2233. Yes, they still cater. Cafe Agape, that's some good eats. The Collinsville Education Association is a proud supporter of KahokSports.com and the Kahok Sports Network. The CEA is your partner as they work to ensure quality education for our children. The CEA advocates excellence and equity in public education and represent over 400 educators in 11 schools in both Madison and St. Clair counties. For more information, you can visit the Collinsville Education Association's Facebook page or the CEA's website at collinsvillecea.org.
As the Director of Sports Medicine at Next Level Performance Institute, I oversee the care of all of our athletes, many high school, collegiate, and professional. Our goal is to help athletes stay on the field and maximize their performance. We have state-of-the-art diagnostic equipment where we can actually perform testing to get to the root cause of problems that could be getting in the way of athletic performance. When it comes to taking care of athletes, we take a full-body approach, whether it's musculoskeletal ailments, nutritional issues, organic issues such as headaches, sinuses, digestive issues. We have advanced training to where we can remedy health issues and return that athlete to play as quickly as possible. If you or your athlete are dealing with any kind of nagging sports injury and would like to see if we can possibly help, feel free to give us a call or come by the office anytime.
And once again, we welcome you back into the Chiropractic Works pregame show here on the Kahok Sports Network. I'm Todd Duke, live from Kahok Stadium here in Collinsville, Illinois, on the campus of Collinsville High School. Collinsville getting ready to take on Peoria, Notre Dame. Let's get you some more information, shall we? Peoria, Notre Dame, they went 6-4 last year, and that was their first go-round under their new head coach at that time, Pat Armstrong. They did qualify for the playoffs last year. Armstrong took over for Sean Gillen, who only stayed 2 years. He went 6-4 both years, qualified for the playoffs on both years as well. Joseph Walters preceded Gillen. He stayed for 6 years, went 42-23. Didn't qualify in his first year, but did in the last 5, going 12-1 in 2014. Only lost that year was in the 6A semifinals. They beat East St. Louis 49-27 in the quarterfinals before losing to Lamont 32-25. They made the playoffs 15 times since 1989, and that 12-1 season that I mentioned of 2014 was their best on the football field. Football program started in 1963 at what is now known as Peoria, Notre Dame. Under Peoria Bergen, actually, they started in 63. They became Peoria Notre Dame in 1988. Jim Hyde was their longest tenured coach. He lasted for 14 years, from 1965 to 1978. And in that time, he went 63, 70, and 1. Peoria Notre Dame, they have no football championships in their program's history. They do have some state champions in other sports. Boys cross country did it in 1980 and in 1981. Boys soccer, we all know about that. They captured the state championship in 04, 08, 2010, and 2012. Collinsville lost to Peoria Notre Dame in a sectional championship matchup, actually, just a few years ago. Girls cross country won the state championship in 2010, and the girls track and field program won state championships in the early 80s, in 80, 81, and 82, 3 years in a row. Peoria Notre Dame, as I mentioned at the outset, they lost their first 2 games of the year, 36-6 versus Normal West, and then 56-30 at Peoria High School. Since then, they have not lost. 63-47 at Champaign Central, 28-0 over Richwood High School in Peoria, 51-6 over Centennial High School in Champaign, a 63-14 victory at Manuel in Peoria, and last week a 20-6 home win over Bloomington. So these guys have been on a roll. Peoria Notre Dame, they average scoring 37.2. Peoria Notre Dame averages about 23.5 points per game scored by the opponent. Collinsville is the opponent tonight, and the Kahawks average scoring about 15.7 points per game. So, again, they'll have to do a little bit better than that if they want to come out victorious here tonight. Over the last 3 weeks, Collinsville has not been victorious, but they have shown big signs of improvement. Over 300 rushing yards in each of the last 3 games. Last week alone, they had 458. Only 162 passing yards in the last 3 weeks, and 0 passing yards last week, so they're only averaging about 54 yards of passing per game. And the last 3 games for Gabe Miller, 373 yards on the ground, averaging 124.3. Neighbors has racked up 213 yards. He's averaging about 71 yards per game, and Collinsville averaged about 5 first downs per game during their first 4 games. Well, right now they're averaging about 15.3 a game, so they have picked things up. We are just about ready to get underway. Where my camera guy is, I have no idea. As Collinsville kicks the ball off, they do so to Peoria Notre Dame. It falls short, and then it's going to run out of bounds over on the far side. Did it? Did it go out of bounds? Yes, it did, because the flag went down. All right. We'll try to set the offense here in a minute. Trying to text Coach Popovich and ask for my camera guy if he even pays attention to his phone while he's at a game. All right. First down and 10 for Peoria Notre Dame, and they bring in some heftiness, if you will, as far as their stats are concerned. Their quarterback is at this point, well, they have a couple of different quarterbacks. Joey Jokic has the most yardage and the most attempts and completions and all that, but it looks like Ben Curry is going to start this game as the quarterback behind center, and the first play of the game is a run for a first down already into Kahok territory. Are the Irish. We're underway. First quarter is just getting underway, and here is Corey under center. He will hand the ball off, and you'll hear a lot of Chris Dillon tonight. Chris Dillon gets about 4 yards on that carry, but he averages 10 yards a carry. 911 yards on the year, 91 carries. So he's averaging exactly 10 yards a carry. John Finch, number 25, you'll see him a lot as well. 502 yards on 70 carries. He's averaging 70.2. He's in the backfield right now along with Dillon. Double back set, and the handoff is going to go back to Dillon, and Dillon runs it over toward the Collinsville Kahok bench, where he is taken down at the Kahok 39-yard line. So it'll be third down and about 3 to go for a first down here for Collinsville. Well, Dr. Chris McCluskey is in Las Vegas. Peyton Blaylock is in California. And I thought I had made arrangements for a camera guy to come up here and help me out, but apparently those arrangements fell through the wayside here. So it's third down and about 2, a long 2 to go. Here is the handoff, and it goes right to John Finch, and Finch gets stacked up right at the down marker. It looks like he's going to be about a half a yard short. And Gabe Miller in there on the tackle. And it'll bring up a fourth down and 1 here for Peoria. So a big fourth down coming up for Collinsville's defense, as Ben Curry comes in from the sideline, gets his play called, and looks at his wristband, as once again he has Dillon and Finch in the backfield. Liam Donnelly is also in there, and a flag on the play, and looks like it's going to go against Peoria Notre Dame on a false start. So instead of 4th and 1, it's going to bring up a 4th down and 6 for the Irish. And we'll see if they want to stick for going for it here. Looks like they are. I don't see any kickers coming out. Matthew Donlin is their kicker and their punter. Brandon Russell, I believe, is the one who handles the kickoffs. So 4th down and 6 for Peoria. They don't throw it very much either. They've only attempted 29 passes on the year, and they've only completed 9 of them for 185 yards. So Corey is under center. Again, Dillon and Finch in the backfield. Here's a snap, and it's going to be Corey going back to pass. He looks, he throws down the middle, and it's almost intercepted. Almost picked off by Antoine Catchings, and Collinsville will take over 1st and 10, and they will have pretty good field position. So the Kahoks will come out on offense. Here comes Colby Anderson, the freshman quarterback, pressed into duty because of the injuries to the starting quarterback and the backup quarterback. So the freshman's back there. 24 of 43 on the year thus far, 244 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions. Here's the snap, and it's probably going to be an illegal procedure as too many men were moving on the line of scrimmage, and that one didn't go anywhere. It's a loss of a yard, but it is going to go against Collinsville, so it'll be a loss of more than just a yard. Gabe Miller, 71 carries so far this year, 412 yards, 6 touchdowns. He had 3 fumbles last week, and he lost all 3 of them as they were moving into Mattoon territory. So those really hurt considering that the fact that Collinsville only lost by 6 points. So Colby Anderson is back in there. In shotgun, and again his 3 running backs, Gabe Miller, Jaden Neighbors, and Kyler Williams. That is Neighbors in motion. He gets the handoff, tries the right-hand side, turns the corner, has positive yardage, has a first down, and is finally pushed down at around the Peoria Notre Dame 35-yard line. So Collinsville picks up the first down of this game. Well, Peoria had one themselves on their first play, but that was it after that. Nice run there by Jaden Neighbors. Came into this game having carried the ball 56 times for 307 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's averaging 5.5 per carry, and that one was a nice big pickup there. Travion Swagger lines up as a wide receiver on this side. Jackson Lee on the far side. Here is the handoff, and it goes right up the middle. And with the carry is Tremaine Burns. Burns is listed as the backup to Miller, but Burns picks up about 3 yards on the play. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 7 for Collinsville here as they have the ball on the Irish 38-yard line. Anderson comes back in. Gabe Miller is still standing on the sideline. Trey Burns is in there in his place. As they break the huddle, Jackson Lee lines up on the far side. Travion Swaggart over here on the near side. 3-headed running back machine as Anderson's back to pass. He looks left, he throws left. He has Swaggart wide open across the 30, and Swaggart gets down past the yard marker where he needed to get a first down. They'll mark him down at the 29, needed to get to the 30, and Collinsville moves the chains once again, and the Kahawks are on the move. 8:24 left to play here in this opening quarter. No score. Peoria Notre Dame move the ball into Collinsville territory and ends up going out of bounds at around the 25-yard line. Pickup of about Pink Out Night here at Kahok Stadium. Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so Pink Out Night. Boys are wearing pink socks. Here's the snap, and Miller gets the handoff. He chucks up the middle and a little bit off tackle to the right-hand side. Picks up more positive yardage. And then he keeps on going and gets knocked sideways. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and about 5 to go here for a first down. So a pickup of about 3 on the play for Neighbors. As we have about 8 minutes left to go here in this first quarter. For those of you watching from Peoria Notre Dame, for some reason one of the lights on the timeout thing is burnt out, so that's why it only shows 2. Started that during the Alton game. Before that, all the lights worked. I'm not sure why that happened, but it's been something we're dealing with here over the last couple of weeks. 3rd down and a long 4 to go. Here's the snap. Anderson back to pass. He tucks it up and runs up inside, but as soon as he decides to tuck and run, he gets met on a double team tackle there by Benjamin Seaton and Danny Wharton for Peoria Notre Dame, and that takes Collinsville back to the original line of scrimmage where now they are faced with a 4th and 10 situation. Collinsville has been doing okay on 4th downs. I believe they hit 4 of 5 last week. So that's something they've been very accustomed to doing here in this 2019 season. So 4th and 10 for Collinsville at the opponent's 27-yard line. Anderson takes the snap, rolls out to his right, looking for someone to pass it to. Finds a man over on the far side, and first down, out of bounds on a nice little hitch by Kyler Williams and Colby Anderson, and the Kahawks move the chains once again. Nice bit of play action going on, or plays going on here for Collinsville, mixing up the run and the pass. Last week they only tried 2 passes, and they connected on 1 for no gain, and an incomplete pass on the second one. So far 2 passes here, and both have been completed. So a fresh set of downs for Collinsville. 1st and 10 on the Irish 14-yard line. Anderson barks out some signals and tries to draw the Irish offside. They didn't bite. Anderson takes the snap, hands it off to Gabe Miller. Miller right up the middle, and he'll be lucky to get a yard out of that. As Collinsville now looks at a 2nd down and 9. In the red zone at Peoria Notre Dame's 13-yard line. Huddle breaks. Jackson Lee lines up as a wide receiver on the far side. Trevion Swaggart over here on the near side. He is being watched by Jonathan Shields. Here is the handoff, and it goes to Neighbors, and Neighbors is running all over the place, trying to find some room forward. He finally does, and a flag comes in, probably going to be an illegal block or a holding call against Collinsville. And it is going to be an illegal block in the back by the Kahawks, so that'll come back. Boy, that's a real shame because Neighbors turned nothing into something there and had some good yardage, but that play is going to come back. It'll bring up a 2nd down and long here for Collinsville as the line of scrimmage gets moved back all the way to the Notre Dame 28-yard line. Anderson trots back in. He's ready to go. And Collinsville now with a little bit of an uphill battle here. 2nd down and 24 from the Irish 28. Here's the snap, and it looked like a little confusion. Neighbors got the ball and goes up the middle, but he's wrapped up after a no gain. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 24. Matter of fact, he may have lost a yard on the play. 5:40 left to play here in this first quarter. No score between Collinsville and Peoria Notre Dame. Anderson comes back in with the play clock winding down to 15 seconds. So they'll have some time to get this off. Swaggart again lines up on the near side. On the far side, it is Lee. Here's the snap. Handoff goes to Miller. Miller hurdles one defender and gets the ball back up to about the 25-yard line, so a gain of 3 on the play. That'll bring up a 4th down and about 21 to go for a 1st down here for Collinsville. So Collinsville needs to get down to the 5-yard line for a 1st down. That's a long way to go on 4th down, but they went for it on 4th down earlier and made it. We'll see what the coaching staff has up their sleeves here on 4th and long. Anderson remains in shotgun. To his right is Gabe Miller. Snap. Anderson back to pass. Has Miller for a blocker. Looks for Swaggart in the end zone and over his head. And he caught it. And, of course, I missed it. But he caught it on his back in the end zone as he was falling backwards. Boy, I hate not having a camera guy. I missed that whole play. Man, oh, man. Nice job by the Kahawks. Nice drive. Capped off by a 21-yard touchdown reception by Trevion Swaggart, as Andrew Chai is now in to try the extra point. Collinsville trying to get enough players out there. They're down to 5 seconds on the play clock. They better hurry. 3, 2, 1. And they just got it off, and because of that, they had to hurry. Colby Anderson picks up the loose ball, tries to run out to his left-hand side, and he is drugged down from behind. As Peoria Notre Dame is due to get the ball back in just a moment, but there's a flag on the play, so we'll have to wait and see what the flag is all about. As the referees discuss it, it's going to be a false start against Collinsville, so that penalty will be declined. And we will indeed go on break back after a moment here on the Kahok Sports Network.
Plumbing or electrical problems? Is your AC or heater on the fritz? There are dozens of companies out there, but do you really know who you're letting in your home? Trust Tiger. Our technicians are clean-cut, drug-free, and background-checked. What other company can make this bold statement? Our 24-hour emergency service will ensure your plumbing, heating, AC, and electric are up and running no matter what time of day it is. Schedule your appointment today. Tiger Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electrical Services. We earn our stripes every day.
from Colby Anderson. And now Collinsville set to kick things off once again. And the second possession for Peoria Notre Dame coming up. It's high. This one is going to stay inbounds, and it's caught over on the far side. And taking the ball toward that far sideline was Christopher Prentice, listed as a tight end and a defensive lineman for Peoria Notre Dame. He looked like he didn't want to have any part of that run back. I am sorry that I missed that camera shot, but you know what? When you're up here by yourself trying to do all these things, I just didn't have the camera turned over there far enough, and my apologies. Believe me, nobody's more upset about it than I am. 1st and 10 for Peoria Notre Dame from their own 34-yard line. Once again, it is Ben Curry at the quarterback position. He'll keep this one, and he'll take it up and be met at about the 39-yard line, so a gain of about 5 on the play. For Ben Corey, the senior quarterback, 6 foot, 185 pounds. Like I said, Joey Jokish has the majority of the numbers, so not sure why he's not out there, but Corey is under center. He'll hand the ball off and run the other direction by Liam Donnelly. And Donnelly gets maybe a yard on the play, so it'll bring up a 3rd down and about 4 to go here for Peoria Notre Dame from their own 40. So Collinsville with another good opportunity here to make a big 3rd down stop and get the ball back. Corey under center. Handoff. He'll keep it instead. Now he'll pitch it out right at the last second, and it's going to go for a long gain here by Chris Dillon. And Dillon hurdles one would-be tackler and takes it all the way in for a 60-yard touchdown. And just like that, Peoria Notre Dame answers. That's why he averages 10 yards a game. Runs of 60 yards will do that to you. Now, Joey Jokish will come out and be the holder for Matthew Donlin. Donlin on the year has 31 extra points made. No field goals, though. Well, it looks like they're going to go for 2 here. So here is Jokish, and Jokish looks to throw back of the end zone, and is it caught? Yes, it is. That was a nice catch. Tell you what, Christopher Prentice did everything but drop that ball. He juggled that thing with both hands and then kind of flipped it up, and then right in the back of the end zone, he held on long enough, and it counts as a 2-point conversion. We will be right back as Peoria Notre Dame takes the lead 8-6. Collinsville gets the ball next on the Kahok Sports Network.
First National Bank of Waterloo, celebrating over 100 years of banking in the Metro East. Visit First National Bank of Waterloo's O'Fallon branch office for your mortgage and lending needs. Why? Super low closing costs, low construction loan rates, and they do so much to support our local communities. When you need a loan, come see Bill Metzger at First National Bank of Waterloo in O'Fallon. Call Bill at 618-632-1010. Visit him at 104 Regency Park in O'Fallon or online at fnbwaterloo.com. That's my bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Back here at Collinsville High School, Todd Duke back with you on a chilly Friday night. Beautiful day, though. Sunny and about 70 degrees. It's warmed up a couple of degrees every day over the last few. 3:16 left to go here in the first quarter. 8-6 in favor of Peoria Notre Dame after they made quick work of driving down the field and answered that Collinsville touchdown quickly and then tacked on a 2-point conversion. First kickoff for Peoria will roll all the way down the field, and Jaden Neighbors has to go all the way back to the 6 to pick it up. He does pick it up and then travels farther backwards, and now he's in the end zone, and they're going to say he has been down at the 1-yard line. Well, running backwards is not key to winning a game, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt here on this one. right off the bat. So Collinsville comes back out for their second possession. Peoria Notre Dame couldn't score on their first one, but they did on their second. Collinsville scored on their first one. And we will hope they can do the same on their second, but they're going to have to drive 99 yards in which to do it. 3:09 left on the clock here in quarter number 1. 8-6 in favor of Peoria Notre Dame. Colby Anderson stands about midway through the end zone, and looks like the Irish are going to show blitz here. And a shout out from the coach on the sideline, and here's the play, and a handoff goes up to Miller, and he is lucky to get back up to the line of scrimmage. He was tripped down almost immediately when he got the hold of that ball, so no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 1. And Collinsville, at any rate, needs to at least get a little farther out of there just in case they have to punt this ball away on 4th down. Need to get to the 11-yard line for a first down. And Colby Anderson on the sidelines talking things over with head coach Mike Popovich. As Gabe Miller comes out of the game now, Burns is going to go back in to take his place. And unsportsmanlike conduct called. Probably some words said. And since Gabe Miller was the one who came off the field, I would imagine he is the guilty party. Well, can't move the ball back any farther than it already was. 2nd down and 10. Ball remains on the 1-yard line. I guess they could move it back a half an inch or so, but not much. Anderson still stands in shotgun in the middle of the end zone. Burns is the deep back, but here is a pass, and it's picked off, and that one's going in for a pick 6, as Matthew Manning pretty much didn't have to move. That ball was thrown right at him, and just like that, Peoria Notre Dame doubles their score. We'll see if the Irish want to try to boot the traditional extra point here. Looks like they are going to go for another 2-point conversion, I guess. No, this time it looks like they're going to go for the kick. On to try the extra point is Matthew Donlin. His holder is Thomas Miller. Here is the kick, and it is good. So the Notre Dame, or the Peoria Notre Dame Irish, add on a traditional extra point this time to make it 15-6, and we'll take a break. Collinsville will get the ball back next on the Kahok Sports Network. The people of Illinois welcome you. The folks in Collinsville, Illinois, well, they want you to stick around for a while and enjoy the sights, the fun, the food, and, of course, the Collinsville Kahawks. The city of Collinsville is a proud supporter of the Collinsville Unit 10 School District. So welcome to Collinsville. Come on over, catch a Kahawks game, or enjoy some of the new places to eat, shop, and have fun. There's plenty to do for the young and the young at heart. Enjoy Christmas at the Collins House during the holidays, tunes at Bloom in the warm summer months, and more. There's plenty to do in Collinsville, so come on over for a bit. The folks in Collinsville would love to see you. For more information, go to www.collinsville.org. Back at Collinsville High School, Todd Duke once again with you from Kahok Stadium. As Collinsville due to get the ball back after a pick 6 by Matthew Manning. As they're ready to kick off, here is Sean McManus kicking the ball off and trying an onside kick, and who ends up with the ball? Well, referees are discussing things. I don't see a flag. I'm not sure if there is one. The referees all gather there at the purple Indian head, the Collinsville Kahawk logo, as they all talk about it. And an illegal touch of the ball while it was in the air, or on the ground, if you will. So Collinsville will take over right at midfield. 2:44 left to play here in this first quarter. Actually, they set the ball down on the Peoria Notre Dame 49-yard line. So Collinsville will start 1st and 10 from there. Anderson in shotgun. Here's the snap. Handoff goes to Miller. He goes right up the middle with it. And he has some positive yardage as he is close to picking up a first down. They'll mark the ball down at the Irish 41-yard line. So Collinsville will need another yard here to get that first down.
It'll be 2nd and 1 for the Kahawks from the Irish 41-yard line.
Anderson brings the play in from the sideline. Kahawks ready to go. Gabe Miller with that pink shirt sticking out from underneath of his purple jersey provides some blocking as the ball is handed off to Kyler Williams. And right when Williams was turning the corner over here on this left end, he slipped and fell, and that's a loss of 1 on the play. So that'll bring up a 3rd down and 2. Actually, they're going to make it a loss of, close enough. Closer to 3, but we'll call it a long 2. Minute 40 left to play here in this first quarter. 15-6, Peoria Notre Dame with the lead. Jackson Lee comes out of the huddle and lines up as a wide out on the far side. Trevion Swaggart has a couple of passes, including a touchdown pass. He lines up, bounce, and that one went absolutely nowhere real quick as Jaden Neighbors got the ball, tried to cut it up the middle, immediately bounced off a body and came back down and could not go forward from there. So Collinsville back to the original line of scrimmage just about, as it'll bring a 4th down and 10 to go for a first down here for Collinsville. And the Kahawks going to continue to go for it. Anderson brings the play in from the sideline. 1 minute left to play here in this first quarter. And it looks like now that Anderson is going to line up in a punt formation. Here's the snap. Anderson does indeed punt. That was almost blocked, and that ball goes flying out of bounds, and Peoria Notre Dame is going to have some pretty decent field position here as they will start 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line. So Collinsville's defense back to it here. Did a very good job on the first possession. Second possession, Peoria Notre Dame scored, and then interception return for a touchdown. It was returned after Matthews caught the ball at about the 10, but it'll go down as a 1-yard interception return for a touchdown because Collinsville had the ball on the 1. Here's the snap, and the handoff is going to go to Dylan. Nope, excuse me, that is not Dylan. That is John Finch. And Finch picks up a couple of yards. Matter of fact, more than a couple, about 8. 2nd down and 2 for Peoria Notre Dame. And this may be the final play of this quarter as we're down to the final 20 seconds. Play clock is at 28. So the Irish don't have to run a play if they don't want to, as right now everybody stares toward the sideline to get the Liam Donnelly this time, and Donnelly makes it all the way to midfield as the clock hits 0. End of 1 quarter of play with Peoria Notre Dame up by a score of 15-6, and we're back with the start of the second quarter in just a moment on the Kahok Sports Network.
Code 3 Barbecue Supply, home of Code 3 Spices, is first responder owned by proud Kahok alums. Located at 302 East Main Street, Code 3 Barbecue Supply is your home for one-of-a-kind everything barbecue headquarters, providing the best American-made barbecue grills, smokers, rubs, sauces, accessories, and cooking expertise from professional barbecue experts. Code 3 Spices provides award-winning rubs and sauces and donates 25 cents a unit sold to first responder and military organizations to aid the fallen and assist with suicide prevention and PTSD awareness. Stop on by. See the guys at Code 3 Barbecue Supply for all of your cooking and grilling needs. Code 3 Barbecue Supply, home of the Memphis in May first place world champion Patriot sauce. Learn more about their products and mission in giving back to those who serve at code3spices.com.
Second quarter is here as we welcome you back to Kahok Stadium here in Collinsville at Collinsville High School. Fresh set of downs here for the Irish. 1st and 10 right at the midfield stripe. Ben Curry under center once again. He'll hand the ball off, and this time it'll go to Liam Donnelly, and Donnelly has some room on the left side before he is finally ran out of bounds at the Kahok 27-yard line. So another fresh set of downs after that initial first possession by Peoria Notre Dame. Collinsville held their ground and only let the Irish pick up one first down, but since then, Peoria Notre Dame has moved the ball quite well. Here's the next play. This handoff is going to go to Donnelly once again. Donnelly tries that left side again. This time he has modest success. He picks up about 6. That'll bring up a second down and about 4 to go. Second down and about 4 to go from the Kahok 22-yard line. Corey under center again, and he'll hand the ball off to Chris Dillon, and Dillon tries the right side, and he'll get a first down plus a little bit more. He'll be inside the 15-yard line of the Kahawks as they'll mark him down at about the 14. So a fresh set of downs. First and 10 for Peoria Notre Dame as the Irish are on the move once again. Corey under center. Snap. Handoff. This one is going to go to John Finch, and Finch gets about to the 10-yard line, so a pickup of about 4. That'll bring up a second down and about 6 to go for a first down. They can get a first down at the 4-yard line. As Corey is underneath center again. Here is the snap, and the handoff goes on the forward progress by number 25, John Finch, who gets the ball all the way down to the 1-yard line, so that will move the chains. And it'll be first and goal here for Peoria Notre Dame from the Kahok 1-yard line. Irish will pound the ball down your throat a lot. Already had a couple of pass plays, one on a 2-point conversion, as this play goes in for a touchdown. Barely getting across the line there was Liam Donnelly, and the Irish tack on more points to make it 21-6 right now, pending the extra point or the extra 2 points, depending on what they want to do. Looks like they're going to go for the traditional 1. As again, Matthew Donlin is on to try the extra point. Here's the snap, ball down, kick is on the way, and the kick is good. So just like that, we go from 6-0 Collinsville to 22-6 in favor of Peoria Notre Dame, as your Kahawks are due to get the ball back next on the Kahawk Sports Network.
The Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been a proud supporter of KahokSports.com and the Kahok Sports Network from day one. Since 1934, the Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been providing women in the community an opportunity to make a difference with fundraisers and projects, all that go towards helping the needy in Collinsville. If you would like any information on any event sponsored by the Collinsville Junior Service Club, head to Facebook, type in Collinsville Junior Service Club, and then click on the event tab. We thank the Collinsville Junior Service Club for their continued support of the Kahok Sports Network and KahokSports.com.
Back at Collinsville High School, 22-6 in favor of Peoria Notre Dame. As once they figured out that Collinsville defense, they have kind of run at will since then. After that initial series, produced nothing for the Irish. Kickoff on the way, and it's deep, and it goes right into the hands of Kyler Williams. Catches at the 10. He's across the 20, across the 25, trying to get over to the 30-yard line, where he does before he is finally brought down. As they'll mark the ball down at about the 32-yard line. So Collinsville will start first and 10 from their own 32. 9:58 left to play here in this first half. 22-6 in favor of Peoria Notre Dame. Kahawks need to find a way to get the offense going in the right direction. Jackson Lee lines up as a wide receiver on the far side. Swaggart over here on the near side. Gabe Miller is the deep back. Here's the snap. Handoff goes to Miller. He tries the left side, and he has a little success and bounces his way up to the 39-yard line. That's a gain of about 6 on the play. So it'll bring up a second down and about 4 to go here for Collinsville. And the Kahawks need a little bit more of that every time out. Last game of the year here, a week from tonight against Centralia. The Orphans won their first game of the year and have not won since. They are playing Mount Vernon tonight. Here's a snap, and the handoff goes to Jaden Neighbors. And Neighbors, I don't know how he ran out of all that trouble, but he does so, and he picks up a first down in the process before he finally gets pushed out of bounds, and it'll be first down for Collinsville at their own 47-yard line. Almost into enemy territory there. And the Kahawks are looking at a fresh set of downs. 9:13 left to play. Here in this second half, clock stopped after the play went out of bounds. Anderson once again in shotgun. Miller the deep back, and Miller gets the ball. Jumps over one would-be tackler and then runs into the back of Kyler Williams. And that allowed Christopher Dillon to come in for the tackle. And it'll be second down and 5 after a gain of 5 by Miller. And Collinsville now into Irish territory. On the left of Anderson is Jaden Neighbors. He was the man in motion. The give is to Miller, and Miller, he busts a couple of tacklers and down, and that was should have been a flag, I believe. I could have swore that I saw Benjamin Corey, who plays quarterback, trying to punch the ball out of Gabe Miller's hands, and I think he might have got Gabe in the back while he was trying to do that, but no flag on the play. Gain of about 2 on the play, so it'll bring up a third down and 3 for Collinsville. Ball sits on the Irish 45-yard line. Burns the deep man this time, as Gabe Miller gets a bit of a breather. And now we're going to have a timeout taken by the Collinsville Kahawks. So we will step aside as well. Back in just a moment here on the Kahawk Sports Network.
At Visionary Wealth Advisors, we empower you to see your future before it's your future, to create your inheritance, to build your vision, to anticipate the known and unknown, and to find potential in both, and build new dawns. Visionary Wealth Advisors.
Third down and 3. There's a throw to Swaggart. He has it on the near sideline, and he has enough for a first down. Collinsville moves the chains once again as we welcome you back to Collinsville High School. Kahawks moving the ball. Here's a snap. Handoff is going to go to Burns. Burns tries the left side, has some room. He's across the 10-yard line, still on his feet, and he is in for a touchdown. 28-yard touchdown run by Tremaine Burns. So Collinsville has an answer. Now we'll see if they can add on some extra points. And it looks like they are going to go for 2 here after they missed the extra point on the earlier touchdown. as now Coach Popovich is calling them back out, and Collinsville is going to burn another timeout. Collinsville didn't have the players they wanted out there for the 2-point try. So back-to-back timeouts taken here by the Collinsville Kahawks. And we will step aside as well back in just a moment on the Kahok Sports Network.
Pack Mail of Collinsville, locally owned and operated by Ryan Combs. Pack Mail can ship anything, anywhere. They treat you like a neighbor because, well, you are a neighbor. Pack Mail offers shipping materials and containers, private mailboxes, as well as climate-controlled self-storage. Visit Pack Mail at 407 Beltline Road in Collinsville. Online, WeShipSt.Louis.com or call Pack Mail at 346-4884.
Collinsville going for a 2-point conversion here. 7:31 left to play in this first half as Collinsville tries to tack on the 2 points to make it 14. Gabe Miller is the deep man, and here's the snap, and going out to throw is Anderson. He's going to keep it, he's going to run, and he's in for the 2 points. Flag on the play. And we'll see what the flag is all about. And it should be against the Irish for a late tackle. And the touchdown is good. They will call it a personal foul, and it's going to be against Peoria Notre Dame. They'll tack that one on at the kickoff. So the 2-point conversion is good. And Collinsville makes this a closer game, 22-14. And we'll keep it right here for this one since we have a penalty that we have to kind of figure out if they're going to do it on this kickoff, which they have to. Somebody lost some car keys up here, trying to figure out who they belong to. I failed to mention the starters for Collinsville on the offensive side of things. Eli Norton, left tackle. Right tackle is Terrence Smith. Left guard is Jalen Flowers. The right guard is Martin Ochoa. In the center is Gage Trevere. We already talked about Jackson Lee and Travion Swaggart as your wide receivers. And, of course, neighbors Williams and Miller are your runners. And the Collinsville defense getting ready to go back to work here. So we will pass along the defensive starters for you right after this kickoff, which looks like it's going to take place inside of Notre Dame territory. Andrew Chai getting ready to kick this one off. Don't want to put all your weight into it and put it in the end zone. The idea is to try to get it down inside the 5, right? We'll see. Well, didn't go the 10 yards. Collinsville was going to try the onside kick, but that didn't work out very well. They have a lost key up here. I'm not sure who it belongs to. So that didn't work out very well. Collinsville had a chance to pin the Irish deep in their own territory. Kahawks decided to try a little trickery and go for an onside kick, but that kick barely traveled 4 yards. It has to travel 10 before the opposing team or before your team is allowed to touch it. But Collinsville just jumped on the ball instead of somebody for Peoria Notre Dame coming down, scooping it up and running. So here is Corey once again at quarterback for the Irish. And the snap and the handoff is going to go to Liam Lemons, and he is gone, and just like that, Collinsville gives those 6 points right back. Man, oh man. 58-yard touchdown run. They had a 60-yarder just a little bit ago to give them their second touchdown, and this one was Ian Lemons who took that ball 58 yards. And just like that, you can almost erase the points that Collinsville just put up. Extra point try coming from Matthew Donlin. Here's the snap. Ball is down. Kick is on the way, and the kick is good. So Peoria Notre Dame tacks on the extra point to make it 29-14. Points are coming fast and furious here in this one, and we're back after this timeout on the Kahok Sports Network.
Ogle Auctions in Collinsville, the newest in online auctioning. Go to ogleauctionshighbid.com. That's HIBid.com to check out what's up for bid in the next auction. Ogle Auctions deals with everyday items like board games, t-shirts, and more, to collectibles, whether that is a vehicle, vinyl records, or vintage toys. Or how about a trolley car? And Ogle Auctions is always on the lookout for more items. Check out their next online auction at ogleauctionshighbid.com. That's ogleauctionshibid.com. Or call Kim Ogle today at 618-980-4530.
Well, the Irish keep fighting. Collinsville Kahawks keep fighting as well. 29-14. Peoria Notre Dame with the lead as they get set to kick it off here to Collinsville. Green, Williams, and Swaggart are all deep. As Sean McManus is set to kick things off here for Peoria Notre Dame. This one is popped up short, and it is going to go out of bounds. And that draws a flag, so Collinsville will get the ball back in good field position. Looked like they found an empty spot over there on that far side and tried to kick it over everyone's head and then come down and try to pick it up themselves. And I believe that Ian Lemons, who just scored the touchdown, tried to slide to get that ball, and I think he might have been the one who actually pushed it out of bounds. So Collinsville gets the ball, 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line. 7:20 left to play here in this first half. Anderson in shotgun once again. Gabe Miller, the deep man. That's Kyler Williams in motion, and Williams is going to get the ball and follow Gabe Miller, but Miller actually had a burst of speed and kind of left Williams in the backfield for a minute. But I believe we got up to the 40-yard line, so it'll be a gain of about 3 on the play. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 7. Anderson trots back from the sideline with the play. All my color commentators are busy. Dr. Chris McCluskey is in Vegas and Peyton Blaylock's in California. Here's the snap, and the handoff is going to go right up the middle, and it is Jaden Neighbors. Neighbors has room, and he's into Irish territory, and a flag came in right at the end of that play as Collinsville picked up the 1st down, but we'll have to wait and see what the flag is. It's going to be a holding call against Collinsville, so we'll bring that one back. With 6:29 left to play here in this first half. Irish lead 29-14. So this ball will be backed up. And instead of being in Irish territory, it is going to be back at the 41-yard line. And instead of a fresh set of downs, it is going to be 2nd down and about 6 to go for a 1st down here for Collinsville. Lee and Swaggart line up again as your wide receivers. Here's the snap. Handoff goes to Gabe Miller. Miller is met immediately in the background. A big open field shoestring tackle by Benjamin Scholl. And Collinsville is going backwards. So it'll bring up a 3rd down and 7 once again. So no gain on the play. 3rd and long here for Collinsville. Here's a snap. Anderson's back to pass. And he spins out of trouble, rolls out to his left-hand side, tucks the ball, runs, has a 1st down, and into Irish territory. Right about that spot that the last play ended before it got called back for a holding call. And Collinsville moves the chains on a 3rd and long. Jermaine Burns will come in. Gabe Miller will come out. And now Jackson Lee comes to the sidelines, and Kyle Schneidwind comes in to take his spot as a wide receiver on that far side. Swaggart's the only one that's seen any passes today. He's caught 2, 1 for a touchdown. Shotgun is Anderson. He hands the ball off, and it goes to Burns, and Burns gets across the line of scrimmage, picks up a yard. That's it. 2nd down and 9 coming up. 4:50 left to play here in this first half. 29-14. Peoria Notre Dame with the lead. Collinsville on the move. And now Don Brooks will come in and take the place of Swaggart as the wide receiver on this side of the field. Burns is the deep man. That is Neighbors in motion. Neighbors gets the handoff, and he's right behind Burns as a blocker. He cuts right through him. He brings it upfield and runs out of bounds at about the 35-yard line of the Irish. They'll mark him out at the 36. That moves the chains one more time. 1st down, Collinsville. Out of bounds play stops the clock with 4:18 left to play here in this first half. Collinsville trying to answer. 2 quick touchdowns after Collinsville scored. A 60-yard touchdown run by Dillon and a 58-yard touchdown run by Lemon. Both of those followed Kahok scores. Here is a handoff, and it goes to Jaden Neighbors, and Neighbors gets spun down from behind and gets dropped at the 35-yard line. Gain of 1 on the play, so it'll bring up a 2nd down and 9 once again, as the clock continues to run as we approach 4 minutes left to play here in this first half. Swaggart is back in there, and Brooks will take over on the far side as a wide receiver. Once again, Burns is in the backfield as the deep man. The handoff is going to go to Kyler Williams. He zigzags his way through the line of scrimmage, takes some people with him all the way up to the 20-yard line, and he is finally brought down at the 19 as Collinsville has arrived in the red zone once again. Kahok's moving the ball quite nicely here on their drives. Ball on the Peoria Notre Dame 19-yard line. 3:15 left to play here in this first half. Now Jackson Lee comes back into the game. He's over on the far side. Swaggart still here on the near. Gabe Miller back into the game. He's the deep man, and Anderson's going to keep it, but that one was sniffed out instantly by Peoria Notre Dame as Tommy Jacob was there quickly to make that tackle for the Irish. So to bring up a 2nd down and 10, no gain on the play. That's okay. Collinsville's just converted back-to-back 2nd down and 9 plays, right? They can handle a 2nd down and 10. Miller remains the deep back. Anderson remains in shotgun. Snap. Handoff is to Miller. Goes up the middle. And Miller gets to about the 15-yard line before he's brought down. So a gain of about 4 on the play. That'll bring up a 3rd down and about 6 to go for a first here.
Gain of 4 on the play and brings up 3rd and 6 for the Kahawks.
2:10 left to play in this first half. It's been a pretty entertaining first half. Lots of scoring. Coach Popovich said that in the pregame show. He said, you'll see Peoria Notre Dame rack up some points, and we're going to rack up some points as well. So far, so good. 3rd down and 6 for Collinsville. Here is the snap. Anderson hands the ball off to Kyler Williams, and Williams gets out of 1 tackle and then couldn't get out of another, but he did pick up some positive yardage, about 2 on the play. So it's going to bring up a 4th down here for Collinsville as the ball is placed on the 14-yard line. With a 1:35 left to play, and now Kyler Williams is slow in getting up, and that's going to stop the clock for an injury timeout with a 1.5 minutes left to go. We will take a break as well. We're back in just a moment here on the Kahok Sports Network. Are the lights on your dashboard putting on a show? Bring it to Mike's Automotive in Collinsville. Mike's Automotive is also a T3 certified tire center. They can handle all of the basics like oil changes and tune-ups and the not-so-basics like complete engine rebuilds. Mike's Automotive also has 24-hour towing and has 3 locations, Millstadt, St. Louis, and in Collinsville. The Collinsville location is at 1150 St. Louis Road, just blocks from the high school. Or call 345-0611, online at mikesautomotive.net and Mike's Automotive on Facebook.
All Pro Tees in Caseyville is your place for custom apparel and has been for over 20 years now. Why? All Pro Tees can handle any size project, big or small, and they specialize in large group orders. At All Pro Tees, quality is number one on their list of priorities, as is evident by their excellent customer service. Did we mention All Pro Tees has over 20 years of experience? They can even help with fundraisers and event merchandising for your group. So for all of your apparel needs, for civic groups, sports teams, business outings, or even a family reunion, your apparel needs stop at All Pro Tees. All Pro Tees in Caseyville, right across the street from Kahok Stadium. Online at allprotees.com or on Facebook at All Pro Tees. Or call All Pro Tees at 344-2200.
And we welcome you back. Kyler Williams had to be helped off the field by a couple of friends favoring a leg, and we hope he's okay. Lord knows that we have had enough injuries here in this season, and we don't need any more. Now after the injury timeout, Collinsville uses their last timeout. So not sure why they had to do that after we already were in a timeout due to an injury, but that's it for Collinsville's timeouts with 1:31 left to play here in this first half, and Andrew Chai is on to try a field goal, and this one's going to be from 30 yards away. So Andrew Chai on for a 30-yard field goal attempt. Here's the snap. Ball is placed down. Kick is on the way, and it is good. Nice job by the young freshman Andrew Chai. Collinsville adds on 3 points to make it 29-17 in favor of the Peoria Irish. So we'll take a break, come back. Irish will get the ball next on the Kahok Sports Network.
Everyone has those projects around the house that you just don't want to do. AW Outdoor Solutions can take care of that for you. Former Collinsville High School graduate Adam Welly owns AW Outdoor Solutions, and he and his crew can handle all of the dirty work around your home or business. Whether that's tree trimming and maintenance, brush removal, power washing, gutter cleaning, and leaf raking and removal. AW Outdoor Solutions can handle that and much more. AW Outdoor Solutions is fully insured and offers free estimates on all of their work. AW Outdoor Solutions. Call Adam Welly at 314-252-8010 or on Facebook at AW Outdoor Solutions.
Back here at Kahok Stadium, Andrew Chai hits a 30-yard field goal to make it 29-17 in favor of Peoria. Big congratulations to Lady Kahok golfer Destiny Johnson. She finished day one of the state golf tournament with a score of 82. She finished her back 9 holes with an even par of 36. Unfortunately, she did miss the cut by 1. But she had a great day, and congratulations to her. Here's a short kickoff, and oh, what a nice chase down there. Jonathan Shields got the ball and went backwards, and when he did, that allowed Trey Anderson plenty of time to come in there and put on a lick for a great tackle. And that means Peoria Notre Dame will have their worst starting field position of any drive that they have had thus far in this game. So Ben Curry will come back out for Peoria. 1:19 left to play here in this first half. There's a snap, and the handoff goes to Dillon. Dillon tries the right side and has a lot of room. Picks up a first down as he is brought down at the 31-yard line of the Irish, so the chains will move. Peoria Notre Dame, by the way, they have all 3 of their timeouts left, so with 1:07 left on the clock, they have plenty of time. Fresh set of downs, and the handoff comes out this way, and it's Lemons once again who already has a touchdown, and he is up to about the 40-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 41, so it'll bring up a 2nd down and 1 as the clock continues to tick, but now Peoria Notre Dame will call their first timeout here in this contest. So they have 2 left. We'll keep that one on there because it already shows 2. We'll keep it right here for this timeout. Kahawks out of timeouts. Irish have 2 left. 53.3 seconds left on the clock. Short timeout, and we're ready to go. 2nd down and 1 for Peoria Notre Dame at their own 41-yard line. Collinsville does not want to give up a score before halftime. Here is the snap, and back to pass is Corey. He looks, he throws it down the middle, and that's going to be a flag, I believe. Nope, they're just going to say they bumped into each other. I thought for sure that was going to be a flag. I tell you what, we're lucky that it wasn't a flag because Christopher Prentice was driving down the field, and it looked like he had a little separation. And then there at the end came DJ Poe and kind of bumped Prentice, but no flags on the play. So it'll be a 3rd down and 1, and clock stops on the incomplete pass. 46.9 seconds to play here in this second half as Corey is ready to go under center once again. Dillon goes into motion. Lone setback, and it's going to be a run by the quarterback, Corey. He gets across midfield and finally brought down at the Kahok 45-yard line. Clock stop as the chains move. And the Irish are trying to play a little hurry-up offense here so they don't have to use another one of their timeouts as the clock runs before the chains are set down. Here's a handoff to Lemon, and that play is not going to go anywhere. Flag will stop it. And I believe we had too many men moving for Peoria Notre Dame. And that's exactly what happened. False start by the Irish. 32.5 seconds left to play here in this first half. I saw what you did there. Clock moves. 30 seconds to go. Here is a handoff, and it's going to go to Dillon as he tries around the right-hand side. Gets back up to the original line of scrimmage before he is finally run out of bounds. And it'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 for Peoria Notre Dame. Clock is stopped at 21.5 seconds left here in this first half. Gain of 5 on the play on a 2nd down, or excuse me, a 1st and 15. So 2nd down and 10 is the call. Ball sits on the 45-yard line. Corey underneath center once again. He has Dillon and Finch in the backfield. Here's the snap as Corey goes back to pass. He looks to his left, throws to his left, and it's caught. And all the way into the end zone is going to be a touchdown by Connor Dillon. That is only his 5th catch of the year and his first touchdown. Actually, his 3rd touchdown. The rest of them have been on the ground. And just what you didn't want to see happen was Collinsville giving up points right before the end of the half, but that's exactly what they did on a 40-yard touchdown pass. On to try the extra point is Donlin. It's on the way, and it is good. And Peoria Notre Dame extends their lead to 36-17, 12.7 seconds left to play here in this first half. We will take a break and come back and tell you all about it in just a moment here on the Kahok Sports Network. Lakeside Roofing in Collinsville. Let the professionals at Lakeside Roofing protect your most important investment, your home or business. Have the elements taken a toll on your roof system? Notice a leaking roof? Maybe it's time for a free roof inspection. Regular maintenance can extend the life of your roofing system by 10 years or more. Lakeside Roofing is your winning team for commercial and residential roofing systems. Lakeside All-Star professionals have installed, repaired, and maintained hundreds of roofs on both sides of the river. Call Lakeside Roofing today at 618-344-2800 in Collinsville or 314-241-5253 or online at lakesideroofing.com. Choose experience, choose Lakeside. Back at Collinsville High School, I am Todd Dew. Glad that you're with us here on a Friday evening on the Kahoks Sports Network as we wind down the fall sports season. Soccer season is already over. Playoffs start on Tuesday. Only 3 games left for the girls' volleyball season. Their playoffs start a week from Tuesday. And, of course, Friday is the last football game of the year as Collinsville not making the postseason once again. Here's the kickoff, and it's going to go almost out of bounds, but it takes one of those weird hops, as footballs usually do. It's picked up by Green, and Green barrels forward and finally comes down at about the 24-yard line with 6.8 seconds left to play here in this first half. We'll see how Collinsville wants to play this one, see if they want to take a shot downfield or if they want to just kneel on it and go to the locker rooms at halftime. Got the Cafe Agape halftime show coming up next. We'll find some scores to pass along to you as week number 8 is chock full of all kinds of other high school football games. Blues are off, Cardinals are done, ALCS game number 5 with Houston with a lead, 3-1. Anderson in shotgun. He is going to hand the ball off, and he does so to Neighbors. And Neighbors comes around this right-hand side, and then he is pushed out of bounds with 0.2 seconds to play. Time for one more play. We'll see how they want to play this one. Lee and Swaggart are out there as your wide receivers. Swaggart's going to go over to the far side. Lee over here to this side. Same running backs, except for now Stephen Green has taken the place of the injured Kyler Williams. That is Neighbors in motion. Anderson back to pass. He's going to throw to Swaggart. Wide open in the flat. All he needs is some blockers. He gets past one, gets a little tripped up at midfield, and that allows a bunch of other guys wearing white and green to come on in and make the tackle. That is the way that the first half comes to a close. 36-17 in favor of Peoria Notre Dame as we welcome you now into the Cafe Agape halftime show. Brought to you, well, there's a flag on the play, so hold on. If it's against the defense, we have another play to run. So not quite yet. And referees are still discussing things, but it's going to be a call against Collinsville anyway, so the half will indeed come to a close, and time for the Cafe Agape halftime show. Cafe Agape in Collinsville. Nachos, burgers, burger the size of your head, kids. I mean the size of your head. Too many sides to choose from, but all kinds of other great stuff like meatloaf and pork steak and pulled pork sandwiches and just a whole list of wonderful food to choose from at Cafe Agape. They also offer catering service, so if you have a business luncheon or an office meeting or a wedding, well, give Cafe Agape a call. 345-CAFE, that's 345-2233. Halftime show is next on the Kahok Sports Network.
Cafe Agape serves up some of the best sandwiches, burgers, pork steaks, meatloaf, and more in Collinsville. And yes, they do catering. Wedding receptions, luncheons, business meetings, and more. And Cafe Agape is your destination for all of your holiday and party favorites, both main courses and delicious sides. Cafe Agape, check them out at 703 St. Louis Road, or check out the lunch buffet at the Columbus Plaza location on 157 in Collinsville. Call Cafe Agape at 345-CAFE, 345-2233. Yes, they still cater. Cafe Brady Pest and Termite Management in Caseyville. Brady Pest and Termite Management is your local pest control source. The Midwest offers its fair share of pest problems, and Brady Pest and Termite Management is up to the challenge. Whether it's pesky rodents in the cold winter months or ants, spiders, and other pests in the warm months, Brady Pest and Termite is your solution. And termites? Brady Pest is tops in the Metro East in termite management. Do you have unwanted pests? Then call the best. Brady Pest and Termite Management in Caseyville. Call 343-1790 or on Facebook at Brady Pest and Termite.
Something old can be something new again. The Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville proves that old adage right one more time. Derek and Whitney Reiser, along with brewmaster and distillery operator Torrin O'Brien, Old Herald Brewery and Distillery is not just a place to eat and drink, but more of a must-experience destination in the St. Louis area. With its Collinsville Herald newspaper feel, Old Herald Brewery and Distillery features a restaurant, a tap room, and of course a state-of-the-art one-of-a-kind distillery. Old Herald Brewery and Distillery can handle all of your group functions, as well with an event space that can handle you and 79 of your friends for any large gathering. And the food? Well, simply amazing, with local and new favorites, plus brunch on Sundays. How about bocce ball or bags on the patio? Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville, 115 East Clay Street in Collinsville. Give them a call at 855-8027, online at oldheraldbrewing.com, or on Facebook at Old Herald.
Cafe Agape serves up some of the best sandwiches, burgers, pork steaks, meatloaf, and more in Collinsville. And yes, they do catering, wedding receptions, luncheons, business meetings, and more. And Cafe Agape is your destination for all of your holiday and party favorites, both main courses and delicious sides. Cafe Agape, check them out at 703 St. Louis Road, or check out the lunch buffet at the Columbus Plaza location on 157 in Collinsville. Call Cafe Agape at 345-CAFE, 345-2233. Yes, they still cater. Cafe Agape, that's some good eats.
And we welcome you back into the Cafe Agape halftime show here on the Kahoks Sports Network, where we are at 36-17. Peoria Notre Dame with the lead over Collinsville. Other scores that we have for you. First, we'll begin with baseball. They are in the bottom of the sixth inning at Yankee Stadium, and the Yankees, trying to stave off elimination, lead that game by a score of 4-1. Other scores that we have for you from the world of high school football. Next week's opponent, Centralia, they lead Mount Vernon by a score of 21-0 at halftime. And other scores across the area that we can tell you about. We have Carbondale over Marion right now in the second quarter, 35-14. Nashville and DuQuoin are meeting at DuQuoin, and right now DuQuoin leads 27-7. Edwardsville over O'Fallon 14-7, as that game has about 10 minutes to go in the second half. At Highland, it is tied between Highland and Jerseyville, 21-21. Belleville West and Cahokia, no scores as of right now from the IHSA anyway. And what else do we have? Alton over Belleville West. Now we got a score stream update. 21-7, Alton over the Maroons right now, and Edwardsville over O'Fallon, as I mentioned, by a score of 14-7. That game has finally reached halftime. That is a look at your scores at the half, brought to you by Cafe Agape. Now we will just let you listen to the Collinsville Kahok Marching Band.
You should be like that one movie with Nino Fumble. Where the mom wrote the Christmas dance. What was that movie called? You know, where they have the bird book. Bird book.
Ladies and gentlemen, last week the marching Kahawks were in competition at McHenry College where they received the title of Grand Champions. Let's hear it for the marching Kahawks.
They're out.
You already got my blanket. McKenna?
Did you just take money from that little girl? Yeah.
No, she's the one that
No, see that?
And once again, we welcome you back to Kahok Stadium here on the campus of Collinsville High School, as we are just about ready for second half action. 36 to, hi girls, 36 to 17 is our score. Hannah Scrum, Faith Lilligren walking through the door up here. Say hi to my favorite volleyball slash basketball slash soccer slash softball players. Yeah. Doing the drawing up here. So we're just about ready to go as Collinsville will get the ball to start the second half, as Peoria Notre Dame is ready to kick things off. And after the foul to Collinsville to end the second half, they will kick off from the 45-yard line, and it's taken by Trevion Swaggart at the 15. He gets through a couple of tackles and across the 30 and all the way up to the 35-yard line before he is finally brought down. And that's where Collinsville will begin this second half. 1st and 10 from their own 35. Just underway here in the second half. Collinsville, well, they trail, so they need to move the ball down the field here on this first possession and make this game just a little bit closer. Right now, it's a 9-point game. Make that a 19-point game, excuse me. I can't add. I've tried. Math is not my strong point. Personal foul called against the Kahawks right on the kickoff, so that's not a good way to start the second half. And instead of having the ball on their own 35-yard line, it'll be all the way back at the 20 after they mark off the 15-yard penalty. So the Kahawks will start there. And it'll be Colby Anderson. It'll be in shotgun once again, and Gabe Miller is the deep man as Kyler Williams comes into motion, and the handoff goes to Miller. Seems that was Neighbors in motion. Kyler Williams is back out there after he left with an injury a little bit earlier in the first half. And a pickup of about 7 on the play will bring Collinsville up to a 2nd down and 7. Or excuse me, a 2nd and 3 after a gain of 7. Lee lines up as a wide receiver on the far side. Swaggart over here on the near side. Colby Anderson turns around, says something to Gabe Miller, and there is the snap, and the handoff is going to go to Kyler Williams. He was going to head over to the far sideline, but decided to cut it up the middle, and that was ill-advised as he was immediately met. And a loss on the play of about a yard, so it'll bring up a 3rd down and 5. So a loss of a couple on that play, actually. And Anderson comes back in with the play from the sideline into the huddle. He passes it along to his teammates. They break huddle, same formation. Miller is the deep man. Here's the snap. Handoff is going to go to Kyler Williams, or excuse me, make that Jaden Neighbors. No, it was Kyler Williams. And Collinsville hurries up on 4th down, see if they can draw the Irish offside, and that hasn't worked. With the play clock not even started yet, they still have some more time. Play clock just now going. And here's the snap, and the handoff is going to go on a little bit of an end around as, unfortunately, Jaden Neighbors ran right into Kyler Williams. And it looks like they may have enough for a 1st down. We'll have to see. No, they're going to go ahead and give it to him. 1st down, Collinsville. So the Kahawks move the chain on a 4th down play. And Collinsville breathes another life. Not a bad moving first half. 2 hours and 5 minutes. That's all it took to play last week's game. I don't think we're going to get that this week, as we are already 25 minutes till 9 o'clock. I think that game was over at 9:05. There is Williams. He tries it around on the left-hand side and then turns the corner and gets pushed out of bounds. And then he and the man who made the tackle went sliding all the way almost to the edge of the track. The tackle provided there by the quarterback, Ben Curry. Not that usual that you see a quarterback play defense as well, but Peoria Notre Dame has that dynamic going on. Gain of 3 on the play, 2nd down and 7 upcoming here for Collinsville. 9:27 left to play here in quarter number 3. As the Kahawks break huddle. Miller now stands just to the right of Anderson, and now a flag on the play as that play took too long. Delay a game against Collinsville. That'll back them up 5 yards, and instead of a 2nd down and 7, it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 12. That was unfortunate. Need to get to the 40-yard line for a 1st down. Here is Anderson. He takes the snap and hands the ball off to Miller. Miller goes right up the middle with it, gets some of that back, and just a little bit more all the way up to the 35-yard line, which was the original line of scrimmage on the kickoff before the personal foul was called against Collinsville. Hope you enjoyed the Collinsville Kahok Marching Band. They just completed a competition in which they were grand champions. So the Kahok Marching Band has got it going on this year. 3rd down and about 5 to go for a 1st down here for Collinsville. Here is Anderson. He is going to roll out of the pocket. Back to pass. Looks for Williams. Has him in front of his own bench at midfield and beyond. And he is finally pushed out of bounds at the Irish 37-yard line. Big play there picked up by Collinsville. Tell you what, Colby Anderson's had a couple of pretty good-looking passes here in this game. Collinsville back to a little bit of a hurry-up offense as they try to play catch-up here down 19 points. Here's a handoff to Miller. He goes up the middle and is met immediately. He gets it up to about the 45-yard line. Gain of 2 on the play. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 8. 8:20 left to play here in this 3rd quarter. Clock continues to run. Collinsville driving the ball down the field on the opening possession of the 2nd half. Kahawks trail 36-17. Anderson runs back into the huddle along with Don Brooks. So Brooks is out there as a wide receiver, and he'll line up over on the far side. Matter of fact, he and Trevion Swaggart line up on the same side. Swaggart in the slot. Here's the the handoff. It goes to Burns. He bounces off the middle, cuts it around to the left-hand side, and gets some positive yardage. Gain of about 3 on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5. Kahawks moving the ball quite well here on this drive. Ball on the Irish 33-yard line. Kahawks trying to pull an upset here. Peoria Notre Dame came in 5-2. Here is a handoff to Jaden Neighbors. He's got Burns as a blocker. He provides one block, and then a late flag comes in as Swaggart throws up his hands as if to say, "It, not me," but I think it might be. And we'll see who it's going to go against. It's going to be holding against Collinsville, and that play will come back, and it'll bring up a 3rd and long situation here for the Kahawks. Looks like the Irish are going to decline this penalty. Now they want to think about it for a minute. So we'll find out here. Holding against Collinsville. They're going to decline it, and it's going to bring up 4th down. So instead of a 3rd and long, it's going to bring up a 4th down and a long 5 to go for Collinsville to pick up this 1st down. Anderson just now coming in off the sideline to relay the play to his huddle, and 15 seconds left on the play clock. We're under 7 minutes to go here in quarter number 3. Brooks lines up as a wide receiver on the far side. Swaggart on this side, and a handoff is going to be nowhere except backwards. They'll mark down his forward progress at the 40. That is where Peoria Notre Dame will take over. And Ben Curry and the Irish will come back out for their first offensive possession. So Collinsville did a good job moving the ball. Just couldn't finish up. Was not helped out. They should have started that drive on their own 35 after a personal foul on the kickoff and ended up being at their own 20, but they did manage to get it into Notre Dame territory until that drive just fizzled. They'll mark it back at the 38-yard line, so the Irish will start from there. 1st and 10 from their own 38. 6:42 left to play here in this third quarter. Here's a handoff. It goes right up the middle, and it's going to go for a lot of yards for John Finch. Finch is finally drugged down from behind by Collinsville's DJ Poe. And with one play, the Irish go from their own territory to Collinsville's 30. Corey under center once again. Snap. Handoff goes to Dillon. Dillon tries the right side. Has a little bit of room. He is finally met at the 25-yard line, so it'll be a pickup of 5 on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and 5. You my camera guy? Awesome. No need to go up and down. It doesn't go up and down, so just go side to side. Follow the play. You're good. I got a camera guy. People, I got a camera guy. It's the little things in life that excite me. Here's another handoff. This one is going to go to Lemons, and Lemons gets it across the 25-yard line to about the 24-yard line, so it'll bring up a 3rd down and about 2 to go for a 1st down here for the Irish. And Corey, under center once again, has his 2 big backs, Dillon and Finch, in the backfield. Handoff is going to go to Finch. He goes right up the middle, and he is going to be in there for a touchdown. 22-yard touchdown run by Peoria Notre Dame. And John Finch. And Peoria scores first here in the second half. 42-17, pending the extra point try here by Matthew Donlin. Donlin has already hit a few. Here's a snap, ball down, kick on the way, and it is good. Extra point makes it 43-17 in favor of Peoria Notre Dame. We will take a break, and we'll come back with the ensuing kickoff to Collinsville here in just a moment on the Kahok Sports Network.
Pace Design and Construction in Maryville. Whether building a new home, making an addition to the home you currently own, or finally getting around to that remodeling job you've been putting off, Pace Design and Construction in Maryville can help. Pace Design and Construction is a building and remodeling contractor you can trust. They provide the highest quality, they are dedicated to their customers, and are committed to completing your project on time and within budget. Pace Design and Construction in Maryville. Give them a call at 618-407-5466, online at pacedesignconstruct.com, or on Facebook at Pace Construction Design.
Back at Collinsville High School, Todd Duke along with you. Glad you're with us here on a Friday night. 5:12 left to play here in this third quarter. 43-17 in favor of Peoria Notre Dame. Centralia now opening up a 29-0 lead over Mount Vernon. That is Collinsville's opponent next week for the final game of the season, as right now they are blanking Mount Vernon 29-0. Kickoff coming up from Sean McManus. Swaggart back deep along with Green and Jaden Neighbors. McManus kicks the ball off, kicks it deep, and it goes right to Neighbors at the 15-yard line. He's on the move across the 20, cuts it up the middle, has a guy on his back, and at the 25-yard line, he tried to leap over Ian Lemons, and Lemons reached up and grabbed his ankles, and that was as far as Neighbors could get. 5:06 left to play here in this third quarter. Collinsville will start off 1st and 10 from their own 27-yard line. Colby Anderson brings the play in from the sideline, and we'll see if Collinsville can get any forward momentum going on this drive. They had some momentum going on the last drive, but then it fizzled out when they got into Irish territory. Swaggart on the near side, Jackson on the far side. Jackson Lee, that is. Man in motion. Low snap. Handoff goes to Miller. Bounces off one tackle, then tries to get around another and gets across the 30 to about the 25-yard line to about the 28. So a gain of 1 on the play. We'll bring up a 2nd down and 9. Clock moves with 4:50 left to play here in this third quarter. Anderson brings the next play out from the sideline. He has Jackson Lee as the wide receiver. He stays out there, and he'll line up over on the far side. Collinsville trying to battle back here against a very good Peoria Notre Dame team who lost their first 2 games of the year and rattled off the next 5 straight. So they come in here looking for one more win to qualify for the playoffs. Collinsville trying to spoil that party. Here is Swaggart, and he gets pushed out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. So a pickup of just enough to get the first down, move the chains, and Collinsville has a fresh set of downs in which to work with. Team all wearing their pink socks for pink out night. I had on my pink shirt too, but it got cold before the game even started, so I got a gray sweatshirt on over it and a coat. You all know me by now. This is my 9th year doing this. You know that Todd Duke does not like cold weather. I don't know why. I live in this part of the country. Just kidding. This is where I'm from. Here is Miller, and a flag on the play comes in right at the tackle as Miller was tackled at the 43-yard line. And we'll have to see what the flag is all about. It's going to be a holding call against Collinsville, and that play will come back as well. Collinsville looked like they were starting to get things figured out on the penalty side of things as they were bombarded with their own penalties for a while. It was a pretty ugly statistic to look up, but now Collinsville has committed a few here in this game, a couple of them unsportsmanlike conduct calls, and that's just losing your head and letting your temper get the best of you. So, first down and forever, and Anderson drops the snap, and he'll be down at the 25-yard line. It'll be a loss of another 3 on the play. And instead of 1st and 20, it'll be 2nd and 23 here for Collinsville. So the Kahawks are kind of shooting themselves in the foot here. First a holding penalty and then a dropped snap. And Collinsville is not heading in the right direction that we need them to. 3:35 left to play here in this third quarter. Jackson Lee comes out of the huddle, lines up as a wide receiver on the far side. Travion Swaggart on this side. Here's the snap. Anderson back to pass. Throws. He has Jackson Lee open. And at the 40-yard line, I believe Jackson Lee made his first reception, if I'm not mistaken. I think that might be his first catch of the year. That's a big chunk of a pickup, but because they needed 23 yards for the first down, that'll bring up a 3rd down and about 8. So they got a large chunk of that back. And Colby Anderson, I don't believe he's missed a pass tonight. He's thrown the ball about 5 times, but all 5 of them have counted. One of them went in for a touchdown. That was the first play of the game, a 21-yard touchdown pass to Swaggart. Here is a rollout by Anderson, and he's on the move, and he's going to stay on the move as he gets around one tackler and gets close to the 50-yard line, and it looks like they may have enough for a first down. We'll have to see after they move all the bodies and wait for the call. And they are indeed going to move the chain, so first down for Collinsville. And the Kahawks dug themselves out of a hole. First the holding call, then the botch snap. But they've got all that back and then some, and now Collinsville has the ball on their own 49-yard line with a fresh set of downs. 2:20 left on the clock here in this third quarter. Jackson Lee lines up again on the far side. Swaggart over here on this side. Gabe Miller is the deep back. Here's the snap. Back to passes Anderson. He pump fakes once. Rolls out to his right-hand side. Lofts a big ball down the field, and it's picked off. Picked off by Connor Dillon. And a late flag comes in, and that might be some more unsportsmanlike conduct calling going on right there. My camera guy gets all excited watching the play and not paying attention to the camera. I do that too, man. Don't worry. Referees will discuss the flag. It came after the interception, so it would have no bearing on the INT. And again, it's a personal foul against Collinsville. Got to be able to keep those tempers in check and check your mouth at the door is what the coaches would say. But at any rate, the Irish get the ball. 2 minutes left here in this third quarter. And Peoria Notre Dame already out front 43-17. They look to tack on some more. Once again, Ben Curry will line up as the quarterback. Here's the snap. Curry looks like he's going to keep it. He dodges one tackler and can't get around the rest of them, as I believe Bacon's left here in the third. Needed to get for a first down. By the time it's all said and done, it'll be a gain of 8, so it'll be 2nd down and 2 after they spot the ball on the Irish 32-yard line. Collinsville trying for a valiant comeback effort here, but they have a long hill to climb. Here's a snap. Handoff goes to Miller. He goes right up the gut with it, and he's met right after he crosses the line of scrimmage. And he'll be very close to picking up a first down. Needed 3, and got about 2 3/4. So they're going to be about a half a yard short of the first down here on 3rd down and inches. Clock rolls underneath a minute to play. 50 seconds to be exact here in this third quarter. Both Anderson, shotgun, Miller's the deep back, and Miller gets the handoff. He goes up the middle, has the first down, and a little bit more. Down inside the 30-yard line to about the 23-yard line is where they'll spot this one. And that's a fresh set of downs for Collinsville. Clock stops with 25 seconds, but when they get the chains, they will start it back up. It continues to move now, and Collinsville plays a little hurry up. Here's the snap. Anderson back to pass. Looks for Swaggart in the end zone, and right through Swaggart's hands. That stops the clock with 10.9 seconds to go. That was a nice try. I think if Anderson would have had a little bit more on it, Swaggart could have went back into that corner of the end zone and probably caught that one with no problem at all. 2nd down and 10 for Collinsville. On the Irish 23, low snap, and by the time Anderson got the ball back and spun around to try and figure it out, he gets thrown down onto the ground, and he gets up limping a little bit. But that's the end of the third quarter, so that might help him avoid using a timeout as we are approaching quarter number 4 next as we have a timeout on the Kahok Sports Network.
Looking to buy a new home or sell your current one? Trust the Blaylock team of Keller Williams Marquis Realty with all of your real estate needs. The real estate market is hot right now. Trust the Blaylock team of Keller Williams Marquis to help you find the perfect home or to help you get top dollar for your current home. Give Peyton or Emily Blaylock a call today at 618-780-4622 or visit them online at blaylockteam.com or on Facebook at the Blaylock Team.
Back here at Kahok Stadium, Todd Duke along with you. We have reached the fourth quarter, and a hurt quarterback once again for Collinsville as Anderson goes off of the field limping. On the depth chart here for this game, Coach Popovich has Travion Swaggart listed as the backup quarterback, so we'll have to see if they have to press him into action. Collinsville right now, 3rd down and 17. Ball is on the Irish 30-yard line, so a big 3rd down coming up here for the Collinsville offense and the Notre Dame defense, as Anderson is on the sidelines getting looked at by the athletic trainers here. And it is going to be Swaggart who is going to be standing in shotgun, playing the role of quarterback here for Collinsville, and no running backs right now. Here's a snap. Swaggart under pressure, rolls out of it, has the ball loosely in his hand, but he's up the sideline, and he's going to go all the way, almost down to the 5-yard line before he was finally knocked out of bounds. They'll mark him down at the 6. That'll be a big first down for Collinsville. And it'll be 1st and goal for the Kahawks. As, boy, they showed a whole different formation look there on that one with Swaggart as quarterback. Empty backfield, 3 wide receivers on the far, 2 on the near. And Swaggart keeps it and runs it. And had that ball, holding it in his right hand, running the same way, man. That's a little dangerous. That's a way to get that ball knocked out, but that one worked. All right, now we have Gabe Miller in the backfield once again. Traditional setup here. Swaggart hands the ball off to Miller. He jukes around to the right-hand side and gets inside the 5-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 4, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And now a late flag comes in, and we're going to have another personal foul against Collinsville. Man, oh man, oh man. Kahawks are just shooting themselves in the foot with these stupid personal foul calls. That was down at the 4-yard line, a 2nd down and goal. It's still going to be 2nd down and goal, but it's not going to be at the 4. And that has got to be just mouths. It's got to be bad language spouting off of the mouth when you should just shut it. So it'll be 2nd down and goal. Instead of the 4, it'll be at the 14. Or excuse me, the 19. 11:43 left to play here in this 4th quarter. Collinsville trying desperately to come back in this game, but they're not helping themselves out here with these personal foul penalties. Now, Anderson is back in there. He's limping a little bit as he takes his spot in shotgun. As Gabe Miller off to his right. Here is the snap, and Anderson's in trouble. And he might have hurt that right leg even more on that play. And it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 24-yard line. Loss of 5 on the play. And Anderson's back on the sideline. Swaggart will come back out for this next play. Brooks and Lee are your wide receivers. Miller, this time he'll stand to the left of the quarterback, Swaggart. As Swaggart goes back to pass, now he steps up and runs with it. Gets past one tackler, gets past another, squeezes through another couple of tacklers, gets down to the 5. He's got some room. He's in. Touchdown! 24-yard touchdown run by Trevion Swaggart. And Collinsville turns a 3rd and goal from the 30-yard line into a touchdown. There you go. How about that? This game will make you laugh and make you cry all in about a 5-minute period, I tell you what. 43-23, so right now Collinsville still down by a lot, down by 20. And it looks like they're going to go for 2, try to get this down to 18. As now we have Green playing the role of quarterback. Snap is down at his ankles. Green picks it up and tries to run, but he got jumped on from behind and was down at the 5-yard line. So that play didn't go very well, and Collinsville fails on the conversion, but they get a touchdown and bring themselves back to within 20.
The Times-Tribune, Madison County's longest-running leading independent newspaper. The Times-Tribune has now added Collinsville to their coverage area this year, including coverage of City Hall, happenings in Collinsville, as well as coverage of the Unit 10 schools and the Collinsville Kahawks, plus more. The Times-Tribune is a weekly hometown newspaper that is published every Thursday and has been reporting news and sports in Madison County for over 30 years. Subscriptions are only $32 for an entire year, delivered to your home and the online edition. For more information, call the Times-Tribune at 618-667-3111, online at www.timestribunenews.com, or follow them on Facebook at Troy Times-Tribune.
10.5 minutes to go here in this 4th quarter. 43-23 in favor of Peoria Notre Dame. Collinsville gets a touchdown, couldn't get the 2-point conversion. And now a kickoff forthcoming here to Peoria Notre Dame. And it is a low kick and handled at the 45-yard line by the Irish. Collinsville trying the onside kick once again. And once again, not a successful onside kick. Remind you that Monday will be across the way in the gym. Girls volleyball action. It'll be our last volleyball game of the regular season as Freeburg comes to town. The girls have one more game left at East St. Louis on Thursday of next week before their playoffs begin. Corey takes the snap and hands the ball off and does so to Dillon, and Dillon is wrapped up by Gabe Miller after a gain of about 3 on the play. Nice tackle by Miller. And then, of course, Tuesday we start our playoff coverage. Boys soccer will be at the O'Fallon Regionals as they have the 7 o'clock game against Belleville West. We'll have that game for you, and then we'll be back here 1 week from tonight against Centralia as the Orphans come to town. O'Fallon and Edwardsville are now tied 14 apiece in the fourth quarter. Corey under center again. He'll hand the ball off to, I believe, Finch this time. And Finch gets it right up to midfield. They'll put it down at the Collinsville 49-yard line, which will bring up a third down and about 4. Alton leading Belleville West 21-7. And Centralia and Mount Vernon still 29-0 in favor of the Orphans. Centralia in town next week. They're looking to win their second game tonight. They won their home opener, or their season opener, and then lost 6 in a row. Playing a Mount Vernon team that's just not that very good. Here's Lemon with the handoff, and he didn't have much success either. Gabe Miller tracked him down from behind over on the left side of the formation, and it's going to bring up a 8:45 left to play here in this fourth quarter, so time is of the essence here for Collinsville. Here's the snap. Corey hands the ball off, does so to Finch, and Finch has the first down. Actually, that's Dillon, and then Dillon finally gets taken down from behind by Burns. But that's a big gain, and it moves the chains, and it keeps the drive alive for the Irish with 8.5 minutes left to go. It was about this time last week that the game was over at Mattoon. I still can't believe a 2-hour and 5-minute high school football game took place. Honestly, I wasn't expecting to get home until after midnight. I got home at 11:20. That's how fast that game. My wife was surprised when I walked through the door. Corey under center again. This time he does hand the ball off to Finch, and Finch goes nowhere. They'll give him about 2 yards on the forward progress before he is finally brought down, and the tackle made there by Stephen Green. As we're under 8 minutes to go here in this fourth quarter. Collinsville trails by 20, 43-23. Kahok scored 20 points last week, 49 the week before against Granite City. Not very often that you score 49 points and lose, but they lost 54-49. And they scored 28 points against Lincoln. Under center once again is Curry. He takes the hand out of the snap and hands the ball off to Dillon, and Dillon gets across the 30-yard line to the Kahok 29. And that'll bring up a third down and about 6 to go for a first down here for the Irish. Dante Williams in there on that stop. Now the Irish can play with the play clock a little bit. Both teams have all 3 of their timeouts left here in this second half. And once again, I'll remind you folks watching in Peoria that for some reason my third timeout light underneath the little green tab up there is not working. Don't know why. Hasn't worked since the Alton game. And that was, what, week 3? Yeah, week 3. Handoff. This one goes to Dillon again, and Dillon is on his way to the end zone for a 29-yard touchdown. So, Dillon adds more points. And Peoria Notre Dame now leading 49-23. The extra point try coming here from Matthew Donlin. There's a snap. Ball is down. Kick is on the way, and the kick is good. So it becomes a 50-23 game with Peoria Notre Dame in the lead. 6:41 left to play here in this fourth quarter. Collinsville will get the ball back when we come back after a timeout here on the Kahok Sports Network. Are the lights on your dashboard putting on a show? Bring it to Mike's Automotive in Collinsville. Mike's Automotive is also a T3 certified tire center. They can handle all of the basics like oil changes and tune-ups and the not-so-basics like complete engine rebuilds. Mike's Automotive also has 24-hour towing and has 3 locations: Millstadt, St. Louis, and in Collinsville. The Collinsville location is at 1150 St. Louis Road, just blocks from the high school. Or call 345-0611, online at mikesautomotive.net and Mike's Automotive on Facebook. Back at Kahok Stadium, fourth quarter. Irish extend their lead to 50-23. Collinsville due to get the ball back here with 6:41 left to play here in this fourth quarter. As the Irish are ready to kick it off, and once again it'll be Sean McManus who will do that. And we'll see how the Irish want to play this. If they want to try kicking it straight away again. McManus puts a boot into it and sends it downfield. It bounces right into the hands of Chris Jones, and Jones gets hit and takes it across the 25 to about the 29-yard line. So Collinsville will begin this possession from there. And some of the folks here have started to leave, unfortunately. About 15% of the crowd left when the band got through playing. Those were the band parents. Or friends and family of band members. Jackson Lee lines up as a wide receiver on the far side. Over here on this side, you have Kyle Schwinwind, and Swaggart hands the ball off to Gabe Miller, and Miller ends up on his head as he dives over the 30-yard line head first and gets up to about the 33-yard line. So it'll be second down and about 7 to go here for Collinsville as they try to move the ball and put some more points on the board. Try to make this one a little respectable. Right now they trail by 27, so coming back probably a little bit out of the question, although stranger things have happened in this game of football. If you've been watching it long enough, you know that. Swaggart in shotgun. Miller gets the fake handoff. Swaggart keeps it, and Swaggart's going to lose a yard or 2 or 3. He'll get dropped down at the 30, and that'll bring up a third down and about 9 to go for a first down here. Swaggart has scored 2 touchdowns, one on a 21-yard pass and one on a 24-yard run. Andrew Chai has a 30-yard field goal in this game. Swaggart in shotgun, goes back to pass. He throws it up the middle, and he throws it into the ground. Right around a bunch of guys wearing white and green. Looks like the intended target was Jackson Lee. But as I mentioned, Lee was surrounded. Incomplete pass stops the clock with 5 minutes and 10 seconds left to play here in this fourth quarter. Quarterbacks are on a long list of the walking wounded here at Collinsville. Chris Chai went down in week 1, missed week 2, came back in week 3, went down again, and has not been back out there since. Jake Holton got hurt in the Granite City game, or excuse me, last week. No, he got hurt in the Granite City game. And that was a real short punt. Stays in Collinsville territory, so Peoria Notre Dame has a very short field to work with as they get the ball on the Kahok 42-yard line. I looked up some of the numbers, too, because that's it for the careers as high school football players for both Chris Chai and Jake Holton. As Curry is underneath center, they watch the play clock, now underneath 10. And the game clock is not running, and the handoff will go, wow. Now that was to John Finch, and he ran into one of his own players, and when he did, he went backwards, and as he was going backwards, one of the Kahawks came up and squared him on the back, and that is they call it a 10-yard, no, 9-yard gain, or is it too close to call? Nope, they're going to call it a first down. So he got 10, and that moves the chains. So Chris Chai ends up 176 completions out of 336 attempts for 2,288 yards, 24 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions in his career. He also ran the ball 107 times for 94 yards and a couple of more running touchdowns, so 26 touchdowns for Chris Chai in his career. Here's another handoff to Finch, and Finch will have enough to pick up another first down. Back-to-back 10-yard runs by the Irish running back. Has Peoria Notre Dame on the move once again. Jake Holton, he didn't throw the ball that much when he played quarterback. He was mostly a wide receiver and special on the defensive side of things. He was pressed into quarterback duty this year when Chai went down. And if he tried to complete a pass, I don't remember it. Corey, as the clock runs, stands there and waits with the play clock right in front of him, under 10 now. Down to 7. 3:45 left to play here in this fourth quarter. Here is a handoff, and this one goes to Liam Donnelly. And Donnelly gets it inside the 15-yard line to about the 13. As the clock continues to run, and Collinsville is just 3.5 minutes away from dropping to 0-8 on the year. Holton ran the ball 56 times for 273 yards, 2,734 yards with 1 touchdown. On the receiving side, Holton caught 67 passes for 631 yards and 3 touchdowns. On the defensive side, Holton had 96 tackles while he was at Kahok, 40 assists, and a couple of interceptions and a fumble recovery as well. Here's the snap, and the handoff is going to go to the back man, Lemon, and Lemon is going to turn the corner. He'll run out of bounds before he makes it to the end zone. They mark him out at the 5-yard line, so that'll stop the clock with 2:54 left to play here in this fourth quarter. And it'll be a fresh set of downs, so first and goal for the Irish from the Kahok 5-yard line. More and more fans start heading toward the exits. Except for about 30 or so fans on the other side of the field here rooting for the team that's winning on the scoreboard right now. There's another handoff to Finch, and this time he goes in for a touchdown. It's a 5-yard touchdown by Finch. And Peoria Notre Dame tacks on, and it's now 56-23. An extra point team comes out, and that'll be Matthew Donlin. Came into this game with 31 extra points. I think he has about 7 here. This time the holder will be Joseph Jokish, and the kick is on the way, and the kick is good, and that makes it 57-23 in favor of Notre Dame. Collinsville will get the ball back. One more try to drive down the field. 2:50 left to play here in this fourth quarter, and we're back in just a moment on the Kahok Sports Network.
Ogle Auctions in Collinsville, the newest in online auctioning. Go to ogleauctionshighbid.com. That's HIBid.com to check out what's up for bid in the next auction. Ogle Auctions deals with everyday items like board games, t-shirts, and more, to collectibles, whether that is a vehicle, vinyl records, or vintage toys. Or how about a trolley car? And Ogle Auctions is always on the lookout for more items. Check out their next online auction at ogleauctionshighbid.com. That's ogleauctionshibid.com. Or call Kim Ogle today at 618-980-4530.
Back here at Kahok Stadium, 57-23 as the fans are trying to break into a rendition of Country Roads. I think they're at a Blues game or something, I guess. I don't even know how that became the thing to do at the Blues games. That started last year, and I guess they continued it this year. I heard it the other night when I was watching the game. But no Gloria. I, for one, am happy about that. I was alive when that song was popular, and I didn't like it when it was popular. Kickoff forthcoming by McManus. It's on the way, and it's going to be taken in the middle of the field by Green. And Green runs up to the 30-yard line and dives forward to about the 33. So Collinsville will start 1st and 10 from their own 33 with 2:44 left to play here in this fourth quarter. 57-23. Notre Dame up by 34 points. Swaggart comes back into the game. He'll be playing quarterback since Anderson went down. Trey Stewart into the game for the first time on offense. 5'2", 158-pound senior. And the handoff goes to Burns, and Burns gets upended after a gain of about 2 on the play. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 8. 2.5 minutes to go. Neither team interested in using timeouts right now, I would imagine. Collinsville will have to lick their wounds and come back home next week. Right here to this very field for the final game of the year against Centralia. Centralia at last check, blanking Mount Vernon. 29-0. Here's the snap, and Swaggart keeps it. Tries the right side, has a little bit of room, and gets pushed down at about the 40. So that'll bring up a 3rd down and about 3 to go. As we approach 1:45 left to play here in this fourth quarter. Edwardsville takes the lead over O'Fallon 20-14. Alton still leading Belleville West 21-7. And Mount Vernon on the board now with a couple of touchdowns. All of a sudden, instead of 29-0, it's 29-14. Actually, that now has been reported as a final. So Centralia will come into town next week, having won their first game of the year and then their game tonight. So they'll have 2 wins and 6 losses coming in. Wow, that was a blitz. It looked like the guy got across the line of scrimmage before the ball was snapped, but they didn't call it. Collinsville picks up a 1st down. And it is 1st and 10 for Collinsville from their own 44-yard line as we approach 1 minute to go here in this one. Swagger will come back in. Wide receiver on the near and the far end. Swagger wasn't ready for the snap. It hit him in the shins, bounced down to the ground. He picks it back up and did the best he could with it, which is a loss of a yard. He was not even set yet, and that ball hit him in the shins. Down to the final 25 seconds. Swaggart comes in from the sideline with the new play, and this may be the final play of the game, which would be like a 2-hour and 20-minute game. Here's a snap, and the handoff goes to Burns, and Burns gets taken down. Excuse me, that was not Burns. That was Don Brooks, and that was indeed the last play of the game as the clock hits 0. Final score, 57-23. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. As we welcome you now into the Cullip Jennings Florist post-game show, brought to you by Cullip Jennings Florist, a staple in the Collinsville area, has been for generations. Cullip Jennings Florist is located at 517 West Clay Street. Stop in for weekly specials. Right now, still all about the fall season, a fall flower special. A dozen fall flowers in a beautiful vase, all for $25. For more information, you can call Cullip Jennings Florist, 344-0404, or online at cullipjennings.com. Post-game show comes your way next on the Kahok Sports Network.
Collipp Jennings Florist, a Collinsville original since 1939. Collipp Jennings Florist has a wide variety of green and blooming plants, specializing in all designs, from traditional to trend settings. Collipp Jennings Florist is of course your place for beautiful flowers, suitable for any occasion. From anniversaries to birthdays, graduations to weddings, Collipp Jennings Florist is there for any life's major moments. Call up Jennings Floors, 517 West Clay Street in Collinsville. Call 344-0404 or online at callupjennings.com.
The people of Illinois welcome you. The folks in Collinsville, Illinois, well, they want you to stick around for a while and enjoy the sights, the fun, the food, and of course, the Collinsville Kahawks. The city of Collinsville is a proud supporter of the Collinsville Unit 10 School District. So welcome to Collinsville. Come on over, catch a Kahawks game, or enjoy some of the new places to eat, shop, and have fun. There's plenty to do for the young and the young at heart. Enjoy Christmas at the Collins House during the holidays, tunes that bloom in the warm summer months, and more. There's plenty to do in Collinsville, so come on over for a bit. The folks in Collinsville would love to see you. For more information, go to www.collinsville.org.
Call up Jennings Florist, a Collinsville original since 1939. Call up Jennings Florist has a wide variety of green and blooming plants, specializing in all designs, from traditional to trend settings. Call up Jennings Florist is of course your place for beautiful flowers, suitable for any occasion. From anniversaries to birthdays, graduations to weddings, Call up Jennings Florist is there for any life's major moments. Call up Jennings Florist, 517 West Clay Street in Collinsville. Call 344-0404 or online at callupjennings.com.
And once again, welcome back to Kahok Stadium and the Cullip Jennings Florist post-game show. Collinsville falls tonight 57-23 to Peoria Notre Dame. Joining us now on the post-game show is offensive coordinator Zach Bilyeu. Coach, you knew you were going to have your hands full with this Peoria Notre Dame bunch coming in here, man. They lost their first 2 games of the year, came in on a 5-game winning streak, and this team is very accustomed to making the playoffs, and there's a reason for that.
Oh, absolutely. They've got a great tradition. Big kids, kids that have had experience winning, and obviously it's something we're trying to establish here. And it's one of those deals that you've got to kind of fight through some of that stuff because they know we had some silly penalties in the first half, and the veteran teams know how to bait you to do that. It's always the second guy gets caught, and they came in and they play smash mouth football. Defense brings it, and offense kind of does the same thing. And we knew what we were going to get with them. Well coached team, very disciplined. It was a good, hard fought battle.
You moved the ball pretty well, though, I thought, for going up against this big team.
Yeah, offensively, I feel like the last 4 weeks have really been clicking. I mean, it doesn't always show on the scoreboard. Obviously, I think sometimes we lose sight of the fact we have a 14-year-old quarterback in the backfield that as long as I've been around, that doesn't really happen. And our running backs, our fullbacks, our linemen, everyone's really bought into what we're doing. We changed offenses completely, which normally takes an entire summer, if not longer, to install a new offense, and we've done it in a few weeks. So moving the ball has been good. We had a turnover there, but we cut the turnovers down from last week, which wasn't really who we are. Like you're going to have one of those games where you just can't explain what's going on, and I think that's what we had last week. And we protected the ball, and we drove. We had still some of those little those gun shy penalties where some of the new kids are trying to finish blocks and trying to figure out how to finish plays, and sometimes we're hitting late or we're holding on a little too long, and just came back and bite us a couple times.
Yeah, and your 14-year-old quarterback is kind of coming into his own, man. He had a pretty good game out there before he left with an injury, but and not only running the ball, but this time passing the ball, man. He had some good passes tonight.
And that's something when you switch to wing, there's so much going on the inside on line, and how we're going to run the ball and how we're going to block it, and just all those different little things and how we block it, because each defense we played the last few weeks shows us a different formation. So then you're worried how you're going to block those plays, and then as we're going through, we're trying to add in some passing stuff because Colby does have a good arm, and we have some receivers on that side can catch the ball that do a great job blocking. We always say if you're going to block, you can get the rock a little bit. So we want to reward those guys that have been blocking. I mean, Troy Swagger's been unreal outside blocking. He finishes blocks. He takes a lot of kids home. He takes them to the bus a lot, out of bounds, out of the end zone. I mean, he finishes his blocks. Jackson Lee's coming into his own. Kyle Schneiderwin, Donald Brooks. I mean, they're just all doing a great job. So we want to reward them a little bit. Saw some things we liked. Teams are backing off, and a lot of these kids, like Colby's playing Raiders last year, and Trey Swagger didn't play football last year, and we just have those guys that we wanted to have a few weeks of practice to earn that trust together and that chemistry before we started slinging it around a little bit. And you saw the interception was just we waited a little too long, but that's what a 14-year-old is going to do. He's going to wait for that window, and he thought he saw it, and he got baited, but he responded amazingly. I mean, he threw some nice balls, and Trey going up and making that touchdown grab, and in that first quarter, that was huge. And I think there's like I said, it's easy to lose sight when you're at this point. 0-8's not a place anyone thought we would be, especially after last year coming and getting 3-6, and but you do lose sight of all the things we've battled through at times with Chris going down, and we kind of chuckle like we know what's going to happen next, and and everybody just answers the bell, and it's promising, and it's exciting because as an offensive coordinator now, I have a 14-year-old to work with, which means I'll have a 15 and a 16 and a 17, as years go on. And that's one of the cool things. It's tough right now because I don't think he gets like where we're going to be in a few years. Like, I don't think like he's very confident, but I don't think he even understands how good we can be going forward throughout the years because he's going to have so much experience.
Yeah,
when he gets to a senior, he might be a 4-year starter.
Right, and then he's going to gain weight, he's going to get taller, he's going to get smarter, so all things will even out at the end, but it's just getting there.
Absolutely. We're playing fresh off right now, and even some of our kids that come and they dress, they're like, the speed's so much different, and we're throwing a 14-year-old back there like, hey, you played JFL last year. Let's go ahead and play varsity football against a team like Peoria Notre Dame. They bring it, and they bring it well, and they're solid tacklers and blitzers, and they know exactly what they're doing. And he hung in the pocket tonight, and we've been running some of those plays that are starting to click, and you're starting to see that chemistry a little bit. And he knows when he should tuck it, and he knows when he should throw it. Whereas at the beginning of the year, he just wanted to run it, which is kind of that deal if you're a good athlete, and he was, or he still is. But the JFL standpoint, if you're a stud down there, like, you can be a stud. You can run around a little bit and scramble, and you look like Mike Vick running around out there. And then you get to this, and the guys are not only twice your size, but they're faster, and that's just something he's got to see. But his confidence is awesome, and just the way he's learned the past few weeks, and the questions he asked, and when we watch film, he knows how to break it down and where to read and what's going on. And there's not a doubt in my mind the way he works in the weight room and the things he does outside of football that he's not going to be a super successful young man for us, because he gives it all, every rep on the field, every rep in the weight room, every rep in film. I mean, he's just one of those kids that he's locked in.
You got Centralia coming to town next week. They won their first game of the year, didn't win again until tonight. They won 29-14 over Mount Vernon. So last game of the year, man, you got to try to pull this one out to get that one win.
Yeah, slugfest. We got to lay it all on the line, have a fun week of practice. I mean, I know at times you start thinking, we got to work, we got to get it, and really the whole reason we do this is create great young men and have some fun doing it. I mean, no one out here is making a big ton of money, and these guys are just out here playing ball and have fun. We need to remember that this week, that it's ball. I mean, it's a great part of life. We get to remember that. We get to play football. Coaches, we get to coach this week. Like, there's a lot of people that can't say that. There's so many stories in St. Louis right now about teams having to forfeit wins, or coaches getting fired that are great dudes that just have some bad things going on over there. And it's like, you know what, I get to coach football this week, like, because I'm going to miss it. I mean, another Monday when it's gone, it hits you hard, and I'm going to miss it. So I'm going to enjoy this last week with our guys. I can't say how proud I am, because years past, I've seen from the outside, and I've been a part of it, where it's the record's not where you want it, and kids fold shop, coaches fold shop, and that's not the case anymore. Kids walk these hallways proud of the fact. We talk about, we have a school of 2,000 kids, and we have 65 varsity football players, and that's a big deal, and they know that. And wins and losses, you can. It's high school football. I mean, it would be great if we were sitting here 8-0, and that would be exciting, and it would be something that I think we can get to. It's just this year's not our year, obviously. I mean, you lose Jake Holton, you lose Chris Chai. I mean, not just great football players, but great young men, and we just keep responding. I mean, you watch on the field, no one's quit, and I just can't say enough about the guys.
Thank you for the visit, sir. We'll see you next week versus Centralia.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you. That is Zach Bilyeu, the offensive coordinator for your Collinsville Kahawks, as the Kahoks fall tonight by a score of 57-23, and that is going to do it for us from here. We're back at you Monday, right across the way over there at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, as your Lady Kahok volleyball team plays our last game of the year. Their last game will be in 6 days at East St. Louis, but we'll have the Freeburg game on for you Monday, and then Tuesday we will be out at O'Fallon for the very first game of the Class 3A boys soccer playoffs, as they take on the Belleville West Maroons in the second game of the night. First game is at 5, and our game is at 7 o'clock. We'll try to get on the air early enough to give you a pregame show, but with the game already going on before that, we may not have enough time, so we'll see what happens when we get there. And then, of course, we'll be back here 1 week from tonight against Centralia. Collinsville drops this one, 57-23. They fall to 0-8 on the year, with a chance next week to put up that first win, and the only chance they'll have to put up that first win, as there's only 1 week left. Everybody, you have yourselves a fantastic weekend. A big thank you to Coach Popovich and Coach Bill Yu for joining us on the pre- and post-game shows, respectively. And my name is Todd Duke. And until Monday, everybody have a fantastic weekend.
Yeah. Oh. Damn, I didn't write down the score. What was it? 50 what?
57 to 23.
57 to 29. Final score. Huh?
23.
23.
27 23.
See how short my memory is? I write that crap down, man. I forget. And I'm like, what? Huh? I'm blowing through my commercials a lot faster than I ever thought I would. Yeah, 25 advertisers this year. I could probably have more. Not for volleyball. I'm going to have to make a little asterisk and add that at the bottom of my contracts that I might not be able to play all the advertisement during volleyball. Especially when it only goes 2 sets. Hockey, too, obviously, but hockey's a club sport, so.
I was taking a piss in there in the bathroom, and those dividers. One of them came crashing down. The one,
Really?
the one closest to the sinks, and the lower urinal.
Huh?
Yeah, that one came crashing down there too.
Didn't hit you, did it?
No, I was on the other end.
Oh, okay. Huh? That's kind of strange. Oh. Camera guy, man. That's a first. Popovich is usually pretty good about giving me somebody up here. Well, if that's the case, then that somebody's going to be in big trouble. Let me get these windows back in here so I can stop getting cold. All right, man. See you Tuesday. Thank you. Didn't realize there was still somebody up there.